All right, दोस्तों, it is the time for the stuffs. And hello, friends. Which is the button that I have to press? That is the button I have to press. Hello, friends, and welcome to the four.
4. 2.
Too many things are there to talk about today. How many? Let us get straight into it. First of all, guys, please remember to smash that like button at the start of the screen itself. Smash हो जाए like button. And please remember to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. And हम लोग ना ऐसा मस्त YouTube shorts बना रहे बहुत अच्छे nice प्यारे वाले which
Yeah.
too we have uploaded this week. And we're putting them as reels as well. So if you enjoy this stuff, please send it to friends who would enjoy this kind of content. Let them also join this community because I think हम लोग को एल्गोरिदम एंड वर्ड ऑफ माउथ दोनों कंबाइन करके एक बनाना पड़ेगा सब्सक्राइबर बेस. तो
You
चलो.
know, Azim, one of the most interesting things about the putting up of shorts is that it reaches people who don't know the community.
यस.
And then they are just confused.
कि ये क्या हो रहा है.
So, yeah, amazing. Okay.
Yes.
Lots of things. Lots of things.
I must at this juncture just tell you right now that before going into the stream, I am in a rather triggered state of mind.
Yes.
Because I have obviously for the football watching reasons that have been there over the weekend, and also the Manchester City situations, and also I myself today have been Andy Carrolled by one piece of shit mother chod who put a tackle in and fucked my ankle.
Oh, fuck.
So I am in very mood to be angry with people. So if I say anything that offends you, I fucking mean it today. No, I'm kidding. But yes, just giving you warning heads up that today my mood is not very good. But chalo, it'll be fun. Azim out for 4 weeks. Hopefully less. But let us begin. Kautuk with Kachra. The Babas has scored.
Oh,
The
finally.
first sue has happened. Actually,
Finally,
it's not.
dude. I was so upset with this Talisca because time and again this Talisca is taking the headlines when he's been told categorically कि भाई please ये सब मत कर. Okay, हारेंगे तो साथ में हारेंगे. तू गोल मार के हीरो नहीं बन सकता है. But thankfully at the end, you know, goats just produce when goats are called upon.
All this time when he was being called upon, why didn't he produce?
That time he wasn't called upon, no,
And
Baba.
did they win as a result of this penalty?
Of course
they
not.
drew.
They drew. Oh, of course. Ah, well.
Yes, anyway, you have to start with a draw. First it was loss, then draw. Now it will be win. And then it will never
Al
stop.
Nassr Champions League.
Full. Abhi World Club Cup next
But Al
year.
Nassr, how they are sitting after losing all these games? Who they are paying to sit on the top of the table up till now?
Arey, sab setting hai.
It's actually Talisca that they are playing. But okay, what else is happening, Bawa, in the world of footballing kachras? I mean, non-footballing kachras.
Nothing. We've beaten New Zealand, so we're fine.
That's all that's happened.
And the
Hardik Pandya captain, no, now suddenly.
yeah, but India Australia is also going to be test, na.
अच्छा, this is that what is that border Gavaskar trophy?
The border Gavaskar trophy.
उसमें क्या होता है trophy? Like वो ashes में ashes का earn होता है, तो इसमें क्या होता है trophy? Border and Gavaskar का photo होता है.
Trophy. Trophy. There's a border of Gavaskar.
Wow.
Is Border still alive?
Alan Border, no.
So at least his ashes, no?
Very nice. Great. Cool. Is there anything else to discuss in Kachra
Is Alan
situation, or
Border
should we
still
get
alive?
straight into the meat of the story today?
Wait, a border might be still alive. Hold on.
Just wait.
Baba
Baba
GPT.
just kills Alan Border. The multiverse has begun.
I am Twitter. Border is alive. Hey, bro, he was born in 55. He's alive.
I think you are confusing him with Bradman.
No, Bradman, though I know.
Bradman is also alive, only, na, Baba?
The sad part is that they were contemporaries. I don't know why I still thought he was dead.
Amazing.
Border Zinda hai. It's a new movie that nobody was asking for, starring Salman Khan.
Need Salman Khan to play Alan Border.
एक बार जो मैंने
Border बना दिया.
एक बार जो मैंने फॉरवर्ड डिफेंस कर ली तो अंपायर की भी नहीं सुनता. All right, cool. We have wait. I remember there was one super chat that we missed last time, and I made a point. Of Dyson Man had said, "What's the deal with Prison Leopards? Prison Leopards is not having a good season, guys. Prison Leopards is fully fucking up. They're sitting as a mid-table team now, and
Oh,
I think they need to imprison their manager, whoever it is, and get a fresh
feed him to
start.
the leopard.
Get a fresh start. Aditya Raju says, "What a time to be United fans. Cousers in gutter and Cheaty, Manchester Cheaty, indulging in fraud. Yes, many frauds to talk about. How much footballing fraud is there in the world to talk about?
Several.
मतलब एक हफ्ते में कितना फ्रॉड हो सकता है दुनिया में कि बोली फ्रॉड हो रहा है, अडानी फ्रॉड हो रहा है, ये बारसा फ्रॉड चलते रहता है दिन दिन भर. Then there is City fraud also, the biggest fraud of all.
The biggest fraud of all. Also, the Hakim Ziyech fraud.
Oh, that is
Robbed.
just
Robbed.
sadness.
Robbed.
Also, I just want to point out that you guys remember
Juve fraud. Forgot Juve fraud.
Juve fraud.
uh, you guys remember I said in the last stream at the end saying that I think on deadline day he's going to flush the team. और उसने टकाटक. Also, did you see the Jorginho effect?
Oh yes, Jorginho effect.
We'll
Correct.
talk about that.
Please tell us, Baba, immediately about the Jorginho effect. The
The
J5.
Jorginho effect. All I want to say is you should read Ayush's last 5 messages on the group, which are
messages.
when Arsenal lost.
Yeah, I even commented on them saying, "Baba asli ID se aa."
So yeah, I mean, even in that other thing, it was very clear that this guy's like, what is this Jorginho Gandu Salah?
But good business. Great. This is the greatest fraud of all that has been done. Jorginho sent. Agent has been sent.
This
Straight
is our William Gallas moment.
But this is true. Atharva pulled out one stat that every player that Chelsea has signed, every player that Chelsea has signed, Arsenal has signed from Chelsea has been 30 plus. So why is have they made this one Chelsea retirement home in Arsenal?
I think it's basically what they do is they have to average up the team age.
Because वो
ठीक है.
Fergie का trauma है अभी तक saying can't
हाँ,
win anything.
अगर
with
तुम्हारा
teams.
अगर तुम्हारा कैप्टन अभी भी not legally allowed to drink है तो it's a problem, no?
नहीं, Odegaard is allowed to drink, Baba.
How old is
in
he?
Maharashtra.
He's 21, na?
No, Odegaard is much older than 21 now, yaar.
Oh, Odegaard is. I thought he was
23.
21.
He's 23. Still can't drink in Maharashtra. Fair point, Baba. We'll give it to you.
Okay.
He can drink beer and wine in Maharashtra, but cannot drink
अच्छा, हाँ, वो
spirits.
कुछ hard
No,
liquor
no
scene है.
hard drinks.
Yes, no hard drinks.
I like how we have organized 2 screenings and now we know the Maharashtra bylaws for alcohol.
This is just one of the many features of Baba GPT. Very good. Pranav Landke said, Kotok is right. Haaland will definitely score 60 goals in championship.
Oh, the disrespect. The disrespect.
I had a
Oof.
great weekend. I mean, so I was in Chennai with doing my show on Sunday, which was yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. And I watched the match at Arvind Desa's house. City versus Spurs, and before that there was Leeds versus Nottingham. Can you believe this fucker has been telling me for ages I want to come and watch your show live, He ditched my show to watch Leeds United lose 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. Can you imagine this man and the commitment that he has? It's crazy, dude. You just go to his house, there's just like all as one Bielsa staring at you and all. It's a bit of a cult house, it has to be said. But it's nice.
For real?
Yeah, there's a
literally
Bielsa staring at you as soon as you walk in.
Wow, that's amazing.
Now he has had to Photoshop Jesse Marsh onto it. But where do we begin, guys? Where do we even begin with the events? Which is because there is actually I think we can start with the most boring match of all, which was Chelsea Fulham. Baba, did you read the great joke? Somebody the tweet also somebody said
Amortized
like,
goals.
yes, Chelsea amortizing goals over 8.5 games. Was hilarious.
Dude,
Oh,
I
Jesse
don't
Marsh
know.
sacked. Jesse Marsh sacked. कब हो गया? अभी हुआ क्या?
Hey, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso is gone. I think shit. I was at SA's house on the wrong night. अभी party उसका शुरू होने वाला था. Marsh is gone. So now who will come in? Who you think? Thomas Tuchel to Leeds.
Alan
No.
Pardew.
Take
Why
us
not?
home. Alan Pardew. Wow, haven't heard that name in a while. Chris Armas. Oh no.
But they've already got a person.
No. Chris Armas mat leke aao yaar. Chris Armas was the guy who was the guy who the man Ragnick's second in command at United and the guy who everybody at United was calling Ted Lasso.
Oh my god.
You don't want Chris Armas at your club, guys. You don't want that to happen. Oh no. Oh no, and now we'll get against 2 matches of new manager bounce here. We will get against these fucking Leeds without Casemiro. Ugh. But we'll get into that. I have many thoughts about this fucking Crystal
Yeah.
Palace situation.
Big-
Baba,
big-
tell
big
us
things.
about what is the new update about Chelsea. तुम लोग अभी कैसा लाएगा striker?
I mean, it's clearly evident, no, what we needed, and nobody listened. And now
Nobody
we're-
listened.
What did you need, Baba? Can you explain?
Striker. मैं कब से बोल रहा है striker.
Wait, I want to just finally
Statistics,
now
can
that
I
it's
tell?
all
I'll give you
over.
statistics. I'll give you
Of course,
statistics.
Baba stats.
I'll give you statistics. Okay, our XG through the game was 1.33 versus theirs at 0.6. Okay, we had 7 shots off target. Total, we had 12 shots. Again, no one put the fucking ball in the goal.
Oops.
So this 8 shots inside the box, which is 8 more than Haaland had.
Wait,
in
what?
We had 8 shots inside the box, which is 8 more
Yes,
than
that is
Haaland
true.
had.
So that is the sign of progress, of course.
Since everyone keeps comparing how many goals Haaland has as compared to all of Chelsea, I'm just saying.
Fair
Baba?
point. Fair.
Can you just let's try this as a game. Can you off the top of your head, can you tell me the signings that you have? And I'm not trying to input in Baba GPT. Just try to tell me, because I've got a list of all the chutias you've bought
In the December window,
in all the windows.
all the windows, like
Huh.
from Flo
Ha.
and Maluda.
No, not all your windows from history.
Oh, you mean from the
Just
Boli,
this,
from
just
the
this
Boli
window.
eras?
Ha.
Oh, no, just this eras. Okay, let's start with the obvious ones. Okay, Mudrik,
Hmm.
Badiashile,
Hmm.
what's his face? Fofana.
Hmm.
Which
Which Fofana?
Didi
Good question.
Didier Drogba Fofana.
Ha,
Didi
D-
Fofana.
D- Didi Fofana. Ha.
Didi Fofana. Kuku.
Yes.
फिर एक और है ना वो 26 कौन पहन रहा है 26 अभी क्या नाम है उसका गिमी
Yes.
बढ़िया शिले।
कुलुबाली
Yes.
फिर और कौन है
I love how you can this is what the point I was trying to make was that you can forget some of the biggest signings
Aubameyang फिर
because of how many you've made. Okay, I'll quickly just tell you. Okay, Wesley Fofana, Raheem Sterling, Koulibaly,
वो fuck वो भी है
Cucurella, Aubameyang, Enzo Fernandez, Malo Gusto, Noni Madueke, Mikhailo Mudrik, Benoit Badiashile, Joao Felix. Remember
Oh, did you
him?
forget about him, Baba?
Fofana, Didi Fofana, Andres Santos, Slonina,
Has he not
And
counted
Jadon
Enzo Fernandez?
and Enzo. Did I
The
not say
main
Enzo?
one.
Yeah, the main one, Enzo. There you go.
And what about the ones that he's made up? Like Shukran Mustafi. And what was it? Merdadi.
those are only in my Chelsea team
And Baba, apparently so far, one person has gone out in the Jan window.
have we not also now signed we didn't sign the paperwork properly or have we signed it properly and then nobody still for Ziyech
No, Ziyech, they, you know what they did? No, 3 times they sent the wrong documents because
Yeah.
they've bought so many players. Sabka documents pada rahega na idhar udhar.
No,
Enzo
I
ka bhej
think they
diya,
just-
Fofana
I
ka
think they just no. I just think that they wanted him to. They just said, what's the word? They just wanted him to stay because they played him in the next game.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything, no?
No, but that's not the point, nah.
Then
Man.
what is
Nobody
the
does
point,
anything
Baba?
at Chelsea anyway.
So what is the point, Baba, of Chelsea? 10-mark question.
and Zakaria, as the chat has pointed out. Wow, what will you do with इतने players
Like,
काम
so
करेंगे
now
क्या?
they've not been able to register Aubameyang and some 85 million worth of players. They've not been able to register for the
Champions League.
Champions League.
So Aubameyang we anyway didn't register because we could only, from all our signings, we knew that we could register only 3. So we took out Aubameyang and now we can register 4 from the new sign, from the 88
Fofana.
new signings. Yeah, from the 88 new signings. So I don't know. Also, let's not forget that what's his name? Romelu Lukaku is still a Chelsea player and will return.
Of course.
But how did do you chalk this draw down to the fact that like you have all these new players who are not gelling, or is there more to it that meets the eye?
No, I just think that we don't have the confidence that a team on the rise or a team on the bounce has. That makes a huge difference. To have a couple of wins under your belt when everyone's talking sourly. So either you need that or you need, just the mental fortitude to say fuck you, hum log karke dikhayega despite whatever's happening. Right? Like even when Roman was sort of, the owner conversation was a problem when they were putting the sanctions and stuff like that. Is Chelsea going to belong to Roman or whatever? There was a slight mental push that Asby sort of brought, and what's his name, Thiago sort of brought, and all of that, which helped take us over there. And honestly speaking, agar Thiago Silva nahi hai ye team mein, so you saw what that Thiago Silva's quote is over. That he said that I'm going to continue to sign because I think that Chelsea needs me. And in this rebuild, you need a couple of senior players. And I think that I should be here for some time. Yeah, legend already. 3 season mein legend ban gaya ye aadmi.
But
So-
will this legend remain in the first team now? With all the defenders you have signed?
Yeah, because which defender can do what he does?
Badhiya Shile?
No defender can do what he
Fofane?
does. Divane Parwane
Koulibaly?
Mastane, nobody. Divane Parwane Mastane, nobody can do it.
Wow, what a but you're right. Like, as in, how will you find a leader from this dressing room if literally you don't know everybody in this dressing room?
Yeah. So
How will you find anybody who will lead this team? It's
like
unbelievable.
you look at James in this game against Fulham. He's half of what he was. Yeah, Chilwell, half of what he was.
But they've also been injured, no?
I understand, which is why I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying
But
that.
you
You
just
just
did.
said that they're half of what they were.
No, I'm saying that like, no, what I mean by they're half of what they were, but just, how James would still put in a tackle, would still scrape the floor a million times. I don't know, that just seems to be a miss. We also look like a team that's cohesive among 3 or 4 players. ये मेरा दोस्त है, मैं इसको ball pass करेगा. But like there was 1 or 2 magic moments in that game where balls were put across and stuff like that. Apart from those 2 or 3 like stunning moments, I don't think we have any.
But Baba, now the nation wants to know that now that Jorginho is gone, who will you be blaming next for the failings? Can we get a name that we can replace?
Give me a couple of games.
Pick a name, any name.
And why is it Mason Mount?
No, give me a couple of games. Dude, I think that what's happened with Mount is that, I think what's happened with Mount is that classic English rising star problem, where you've had one good season at the nubile age of 12 or something, and everyone's like, he's the shining star, he's going to win England the World Cup.
But ऐसा कोई नहीं बोला है बाबा.
बोला है.
कौन
In that
बोला
first
है
season
shining star Mason Mount?
that first season of Lampu, though, he was doing everything. He was the guy. And so
but
everybody has...
he was no Wayne Rooney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Wayne Rooney was the shining light for sure.
Like
This
he
guy
was
was
like a... Who can you compare him to? Like a guy who is like sort of essential to us to the squad, but not like superstar. Like not you're like, अरे fuck
Scholes.
Mason Mount नहीं है तो कैसा खेलेगा?
No, not Scholes.
Not even Scholes.
Scholes in England team, I would say.
Yeah.
Kovacic.
Because
Like a Foden maybe. Where you're like,
Yeah.
हाँ कि ये काम तो है इसका टीम में, but Dele Alli, perfect fit. Dele Alli. Well put. Dele Alli works.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just hoping that we're going to get to a place where this team sort of has some gelling components put together. I don't know if
So you'll have to buy those components
So,
also. What?
Bawa, can I do one thing for you? So, I think now would be a good time to quickly take you back in history to
Wow.
just explain how this thing has already happened once before and
Sure.
a good estimate of how this might play out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you get
So,
into that, I have one
huh,
great stat which Atharva pulled out, which is if you took like the like amount of money spent per season across all the last like how many years is it? Like maybe 20 years, and you adjusted it for inflation.
hmm,
The
Hmm.
top 4 times have been Chelsea. So Chelsea 2003-4 adjusted for inflation would be 692 million, which was
hmm.
the first big spend. Then
Oh,
22-23 is the next biggest spend, 541 million. Then Chelsea 2005 2006 430 million. Chelsea 2004 2005 394 million. And then come the poor Man City over 2010 11 9 10 8 9 spending exactly 370 million in all 3 seasons.
yeah.
And then 350 million thoda discount in 2007-18. So quite
Yeah.
fascinating.
So exactly. So this thing that I'm going to be telling you guys, it's about the spending of Man City.
Wow.
Okay, and how how this very critical takeover happened of Man City. Okay, so this is basically essentially the history of the modern day Man City and how it has an incredible parallel with the Chelsea of today. So just to kind of set a little bit of context, um, I started by researching on. Firstly, I was hit with a bout of laughter after I heard the Hakim Ziyech thing because it reminded me of what happened to David De Gea at Real Madrid. जिधर फैक्स नहीं चल रहा है पेपर नहीं आ रहा है अरे आया पर 2 मिनट लेट आया अभी नहीं हो सकता
Like you know how badly he's been screwed, no?
yeah so I know exactly what's like I know that feeling. So anyway, I started looking into it from there and then I found one particular transfer which we'll talk about soon and which led me down to this unbelievable what is this
Rabbit
history.
hole.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so
Unbelievistry, I think you mean.
yeah yeah it's a full unbelievable history. So okay, are you ready? This is the
Let's
special
go.
presentation and it's called Echoes of the Past and it's specially created and made for the instruction of Bawa. Okay,
Wow.
so Bawa, here's what happens. So before we find out about the takeover of City, first let me just tell you a little bit about what was happening in City between 1996 and 2003. Between these years, City was a it was a erratic club stumbling through the Premier League,
Yo-yo
often
club.
getting relegated, full yo-yo. Right? Then in 2007, there is a new dawn when a former Thai prime minister, a man called Thaksin Shinawatra, takes over the club. Okay, he buys a majority stake and he brings in new life and money into the club. Okay, that season they install a certain David Beckham fan called Sven Goran Eriksson
Yes.
as manager. Okay, and Sven Goran Eriksson quickly takes this money and buys a few key players. Okay, players that you might remember as Ilano, Michael Johnson, Giovanni. Do you guys?
Robinho.
That comes
No,
later.
Robinho comes later.
That comes
Oh,
later.
Ilano. Yes, I remember Ilano.
Okay, so now this, however, proves to be a false dawn because Thakshin Shinawatra is a shady guy. Okay, now this ties in with everything that's happening at Man City right now. Okay, and if you, as the story goes along, you'll find out that this is probably the most critically linked story to all the events that have happened last week, which is why it's called Echoes of the Past.
Wow.
So Shinawatra has a questionable reputation and eventually his assets are frozen, okay, which leads to the club being sold. Okay, and 12 months later Sven Goran Eriksson has also given some poor performances and which leads to his sacking. Now, in June of 2008, Mark Hughes is brought into the club. Okay. Now, 2 months after that, on 1st September 2008, suddenly out of the blue, okay, Thakshin Chinnamadra has been taken out. So the chief executive of Man City, a man called Gary Cook, he travels around looking for investors, and he finds on 1st September 2008, unbelievably out of the blue, an investment group called Abu Dhabi United Group, okay, led by a certain Sheikh Mansour, who paid 210 million pounds and buy Man City. Now that just tells you how much times have also changed. 210 million pounds, that's all it took.
उसमें मतलब 1.5 एंजो फर्नांडिस आता है अभी आजकल के ज़माने में.
Okay, so Sheikh Mansour takes over, but his front man was a man called Suleiman Al Fahim. We'll come to that guy in a bit. But 1st September 2008, they've taken over, and they decide to make a splash on the very day that they've taken over by going in for a marquee signing. And that marquee signing was Real Madrid's winger, Robinho. Okay, so now the story is most amazingly told by the then president of Real Madrid, Ramon Calderon, okay, who says this incredible story. Okay, this is what happens. So he says that on the night of 1st September 2008, he gets a call. Okay, it's like the final night of the market, and right at that night he gets a call, and it's from Man City saying, we want to buy Robinho, right? So he says, they ask him how much. So he says, I want 35 million euros. Okay, and then he says, no, actually, you know what, make it 40. So here's what happens. The guy on the other end says, okay.
Todd
So just
Bowley
like
would have
that,
looked at him, what a fool. अभी तो 45 का ऑफर बनता था.
okay, now Ramon Calderon realizes that, oh fuck, this guy's coming on the last day. Clearly he has money, so let me squeeze some more. Okay, he says, all right, but I want solidarity payment also of 5% on top of this. The guy says, okay. He says, in cash. Okay. So they have done the classic new money, big money, ye le paisa de player. Okay. So they have gone in and got Robinho. This shocked the world. Okay. Because here's the crazy thing. Wow. Are you ready? You know how you guys have been just watching Arsenal try to buy players and then hijacking them?
You mean like what Barcelona did to us?
Whatever, man. Like Mikhailo Mudryk was not your player and you stole him. Well, Chelsea were in for Robinho, and on 1st September, they find out he has been stolen. Okay, and this was so surprising that even Robinho didn't know. So Robinho sitting in a press conference and he says, I'm very happy to be here in Chelsea. And someone tells him, buddy, it's Man City. He says, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
fuck, I remember this now. Shit, yes.
Yeah. Now, here's another crazy thing. Okay. Small side story, but a crazy one. Okay. So 1st September, all this happens. By 8th
No,
September.
apparently chat is saying it was United, not Chelsea.
No, it was Chelsea. So here's the amazing part. Okay. On 8th September, okay, suddenly the frontman of this operation, okay, Suleiman Al Fahim, he is sidelined. Now, the reason he is sidelined from this operation is because he's been saying crazy things. Okay, because he has come
Like
in
okay.
with, yeah,
Like
okay, and he has been going to the media saying that he's going to buy unbelievable players. He's like, I want to sign, I want to make a dream team. Okay, मेरे पास बहुत पैसा है, देख लेंगे. Okay, and here's one incredible quote he says. So he says that he says Robinho is just the beginning. Okay, we want to have bigger signings. And we want to sign these bigger signings from our biggest rivals. We want to sign a man called Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United.
He said this.
Yes. Now, he said an even crazier quote. He said, Ronaldo has said he wants to play for the biggest club in the world. So we will see in January if he is serious.
Oh wow.
like one full Bond villain. He has gone in and said all of this stuff. So the Abu Dhabi group was like, "Bhai, tu side mein ja thoda, side mein." Okay, and they were right to do this because in 2009 he buys Portsmouth, but is jailed right after that because he stole £5 million from his own wife to
What?
buy Portsmouth.
What?
And here's the last part. Okay, the absolute last part of the story is so the year that Mark Hughes comes in, and this is very relevant to Bawa. Okay,
Sure.
Bawa, they spent a record £270 million worth of transfers to facilitate Mark Hughes. Okay, Mark Hughes, who was not the coolest manager around, all right, they spent all this money and they finished 10th.
Yes.
Here's the list of people Mark Hughes brought in. Are you ready? It's crazy. Vincent Company, Pablo Zabaleta, Wayne Bridge, Nigel De Jong, Shea Given, Craig Bellamy, Robinho, Sean Wright Phillips, Gareth Barry, Julian Lescott, Colo Toure, Carlos Tevez, Joe, Tal Benheim, Roque Santa Cruz, and Emmanuel Adebayor.
Yes. This was
And
the team
The
that
dream team.
this
Dream
was
team.
the team that United beat with the Michael Owen scored that goal, na 4-3 wala.
yeah.
Yes.
So that is the story of Man City. Like, this is the history of Man City, and it's almost parallel to what's happening with Todd Bowley and Chelsea today, down to the fact that you've spent all this money and are 10th. Down to that.
Dude, Fulham is above us, yeah.
But
And-
Bawa, to be fair, what happens right after is Mark Hughes gets sacked, Mancini is brought in, and unparalleled success ever after. So hope
Well,
that
but
Arey,
we,
but
as
I
we
just
found
want
out,
to
it was
say,
actually all fueled by fraud. So
I mean, all I'm saying is that we already have had unparalleled success.
I mean, there
So
were
I don't,
many parallels, Bawa. That's what I mean, you had in parallel City winning and Chelsea winning and United winning.
also
but-
folks who are in the chat uh, saying that it's Manchester United, I'm going to just put a link here and it'll clear that up. It's Chelsea.
But are you sure it's one of those legit links?
Yeah, it's from the Manchester Evening News. I think they would know
Okay, fair
if
point.
Manchester United was in.
Fair point. Fair point. But apparently, the thing was that he did not know that Manchester, like he thought that Manchester United is the only club in Manchester. He did not know that he was signing for City.
which
Yeah.
goes to show what City is.
Fair
We were
point.
always in the Premier League. ऐसा 6th, 8th, 6th, 8th. हम लोग अभी अपना असली औकात पे है. So it's okay.
Also, it's thoroughly enjoying. Let us quickly touch upon this as we do a couple of super chats. First of all, thank you to Prajwal, who is a Oil Money member. You'll be added to the Oil Money group soon. I am an Indian engineer. He says J20 cursed Arsenal. Haaland yucks. Liverpool sucks. And Jagran
Haaland
Klopp,
yucks.
who is our Oil
Sucks.
Money member, he says, Bawa, don't worry. Potter will come good. Also, next time, I think I should ask my lawyer before I speak about any club spending because I spent 100 million on Nunu. PS, love you, Bawa.
अरे dude, this I don't know, Klopp out वाला scene होने वाला है मेरे को लग रहा है जल्दी से.
Bro, iska to, like, it's unbelievable how at the 7th year his meter goes down.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you were doing an
No,
insurance
his meter
on
goes up to for higher.
like if you were doing insurance on Klopp, right? Like you would put in a clause that this is only valid till 7th year.
6 years, yes. This is true. Anirudh Dhawan says, what a week. Spurs 1, City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea all drop points. And Kautuk Roma is third. Yes, this is true. Wrexham
Unbelievable.
versus Spurs, potentially. I'm assuming this is FA Cup. # come on your Spurs. But yeah, let's talk about Liverpool, dude. क्या हालत हो गया वो क्लब का? How can there be such a fall from grace, yaar?
And the thing is, like, you know what's odder is that Jurgen Klopp is getting older with every single press conference he does, dude. every single press conference, like you can see that it's visibly hurting him. Like he's got to this point where in the last one he was like, you know, what do I?
Yeah, he just has the look of a guy who's just like I've seen, because as a Manchester United fan, in the 7 years that Klopp has been there, I have seen 4 different managers have this look on their face
Yeah,
of नहीं यार मेरे से नहीं होने वाला. So
yeah. मेरे से नहीं होने वाला है.
yeah, so it's unfortunate. But I don't know. Do you think they would? First of all, I'm just enjoying the silence from Liverpool fans. I think it's after all the, especially because the comedy scene for some reason is just all Liverpool fans, huh?
Dude, it's unbelievable.
And all of them for these Mourinho and Ole
Yeah,
and Ralph Rangnick years.
but then this year the problem is Mandava has made up for all the additional Liverpool fans that exist with the amount of noise Mandava has made.
Like that is why now I cannot wait for Arsenal also to fail. My God.
Just because of one person. Na?
Yeah.
But,
Tushar Abhichandani may join today. He said, let's see. I told him, now I called you 4 times when Arsenal were winning. Now when they've lost also, you have to come chup chup.
Bro, apna bidu King
But-
Eric has said Liverpool fan scene is comedy only.
But also, by the way, so they didn't lose, no, technically. Meaning, of course, they lost literally, but in terms of points lost, it's fine. Like it's
Yeah.
a relative win only.
Well, no,
No,
I mean,
but
Spurs and
United is
United
climbing.
moved ahead of them, no?
But United is climbing to number 2.
Oh, you're saying 21 is coming? Okay.
No, he's
I'm
saying
saying-
1 and 2 is coming.
Yeah, one or two is coming.
No, 20. I believe, yeah, I believe.
Achha, when you started believing?
Because every time I believe they lose, so just hoping.
No, stop believing immediately. अभी लीड्स यूनाइटेड के साथ खेलना पड़ेगा यार 2 गेम. Aditya Raju, and this segues nicely into my next talking about. If Casemiro was red card, why not Ayu's neck grabbing of Fred and season-ending challenge on Eriksen? Pathetic refs and blind VAR. 100% agree. 100%. This VAR is the most nonsense bullshit thing to ever have been brought into football. निकाल दो. Like ये लोग को नहीं आता है VAR. It
Why
genuinely,
did
I think.
Casemiro say I forgot? I thought I was playing for Real Madrid. Why did he say that?
Who?
Did he say that?
Somewhere Casemiro has said that I thought I forgot I was playing for Real
No.
Madrid.
It's
नहीं.
a. Oh, you have been conned again. How this happens to you?
Because they
But,
come with such veracity. These
This
claims.
is how right-wing propaganda spreads, Baba.
But unbelievably, this is his first straight red,
First straight red of his career.
which
yeah.
is
of
crazy
his
for
career.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ever.
first straight red. Huh?
And this is only because they have literally just done one freeze frame where his hand is like this. Like literally his
And
hand
it's on the
is-
collar.
Yeah, his hand is here for all of 2 seconds. But they are showing the referee ki over 7 seconds ki देख कितना लंबा पकड़ा साले ने, ये तो choke slam कर दिया उसको, ये वो. Fucking nonsense. First of all, the tackle on Anthony is so bad where he has sent him flying into the stand. उसके लिए कुछ नहीं. एक येलो कार्ड देके खत्म कर दिया. ओके, देन द फाइट हैज स्टार्टेड. यहाँ पे अपना क्या है, जॉर्डन आयो तो थप्पड़ ऊपर मार रहा है रूट फ्रेड को. उसको कुछ नहीं, सेम फ्रेम में दिख रहा है वो. यहाँ पे चोक हो रहा है, यहाँ पे थप्पड़ मार
He's
रहा है.
in the back.
Background, you know, it's one of those sketches now where foreground में कुछ चल रहा है और background में they just for comic effect man is being stabbed in background but it's not noticed. This is that. It's such garbage, and just the quality of refereeing, particularly with these tackles and red cards and all, has been horrific. Again, इतना देने का है वार को पेनल्टी, तो फिर लास्ट अगेंस्ट क्रिस्टल पैलेस स्कॉट मैकडोमिनी को पेनल्टी क्यों नहीं दिया? हम लोग जीत गया था वो मैच. Why they are not giving these decisions? Only this Casemiro they want to send off red card. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy against United right now. It's a complete conspiracy. This VAR needs to be banned immediately. Referees needs to be sacked. Somebody else needs to be bring Alex Ferguson out of retirement to referee matches now. हो गया, बहुत हो गया. I'm tired of
This
this
is-
nonsense.
This is like Anthony Taylor was refereeing this game.
Arey dude, it was so bad, yaar. Like how? Just I'm saying, chalo, theek hai. If you feel that he is red card worthy and all of that, send him off. But then send the other fucker also off. No, like have some consistency there. It's and like and Ten Hag also brought this up where he was like Andy Carroll अपना player को murder करके चला गया, उसको कुछ नहीं. उसको 4 टैकल के बाद रेड कार्ड दिया है. देन लिजेंड्रो मार्टिनेज को लिटरली ऐसे आंख पे एल्बो मारा है प्लेयर ने. ही इज प्लेड विद बैंडेज फॉर 2 weeks. नो एक्शन, नॉट इवन फ्री किक, नथिंग. हम लोग को पेनल्टी नहीं दिया. एंडी कैरल को like he was just roaming around like full chain gang trying to kill people. There was one more bad foul also that had happened on some United player. Chalo, the Van de Beek one was a freak incident. You can't blame that. Then there was the Sabitzer ka thing. By the way, Sabitzer also made his debut and nice clean tackle he's made. Put Rashford through clean in on goal. Referee decides foul for what?
Oh my God.
It was
ये
ridiculous.
तो है पैसा खाया है पैसा.
Yeah, कि just
हाँ,
now
but
they
it's
are like कि अच्छा एक गोल हम लोग ने दिया था तुम लोग को contentious offside तो अभी पूरा सीजन गाड़ मारो तुम लोग. Until your full squad is injured, we will not rest until we have compensated for that one offside.
Mark Goldbridge must have been frothing at the mouth, na?
मैं देखता नहीं है ये सब. But I am doing the frothing for him if he was not. It was terrible, yeah. But at least now we're 3 games without Casemiro. But Sabitzer is in. So actually quite a good signing overall considering his defensive game is actually also quite decent. So he's going to be really needed for these next 3 games. Now against Barcelona, though we're going to lose only, but ठीक है. Because Barcelona out of nowhere 8 points clear. Kautuk,
Oh my
what is
God.
going on in the league? Please tell us.
Okay, I'll quickly wrap up Real Madrid because it's best to
Because
get it
it's
done.
no, because the season's wrapped up for Real
Yeah,
Madrid.
yeah. I was on the Telegram group and right after um, our latest defeat against Mallorca,
How y'all did this? Why y'all lost?
I'll tell you. So I wrote on the Telegram group that I'm writing the season off. Congrats, Barca, well done, amazing, great. How you build team with no money, it's just unbelievable. It's the exact polar opposite of Chelsea. Exact opposite of whatever Chelsea is doing.
I mean, you spent like 200 million.
No, as
and
in,
also you got Mbappe.
अरे गरीबी में वो लोग क्या बनाया है टीम बाबा.
अरे
बच्चों लोग को ऐसा चाइल्ड लेबर
भाई,
करा
100 million खरीदे तो प्लेयर तो
अरे
गरीब
तुम लोग
थोड़ी होता
एम्बापे
है.
को खरीदा है, क्या स्ट्रेस ले रहे तुम लोग?
अरे हम लोग एम्बापे को खरीद के थक गया. हाउ मेनी टाइम्स
He's
कैन यू
not
बाय
even
वन थिंग?
falling for the joke
Yeah.
anymore. He's
Yeah, it's done. This, Baba, I'm not understanding how you're not understanding that the gravity of the situation is that the season is wrapped up. It's over, and it's only 6th Feb.
And I told you that Real Madrid second or third.
Dude, okay, I'll just tell you this. Okay, so in this match, Karim Benzema is out. Okay, so
Mariano.
Mariano is on the bench, thankfully, because they played Rodrigo up top. But the crazy thing is they couldn't even fill the bench up. That's how thin the squad is. This is the team that won the Champions League last year. It feels like it was some fucking decade ago. I don't know how they've not, like, there's no depth to this
Are
team.
you saying Liverpool and y'all are same problem right now?
Yeah, thankfully we're dealing with it better. But also, like, I wish I had the attacking depth of Liverpool. उन लोग के पास strikers का ऐसा, they have one, the way that the US
सब
has
injured है ना?
stockpiled. चलेगा है तो सही.
Fair
Like,
point.
we have Hazard, who has injured himself while sitting on the bench. How can you do that?
अरे वो
It's
मार्शियल भी
difficult
same
to eat a
करता है
burger.
यार.
It's
Bro,
difficult to eat a burger on the bench.
That's what I thought. Like, I thought, ऐसा वो, like, he was sitting on the bench, then he shifted his weight, और फिर उसका glute फट गया.
Yeah, you can do that, na? Like when you're reaching for the Coke or the fries are in the packet, which is a different packet.
So, I mean, and it's just unbelievable. So, the other thing about Mallorca, like, to talk about referees who are fucking things up, like, they have the amount of fouls that Vinny has gotten in that game. I think it was some record high 10 or something like that,
wow.
and nothing was done. Just they antagonize the fuck out of him. And I think the other thing is that Vinny reacts also.
Yeah.
Like, he's one full, like, Joga Bonito, expressive, mera soul mein apna pitch pe baha dunga. He's that guy, right? So he fully buys into all of these tactics. Like, they have their captain has taken his Mallorca ka club badge and he's getting Vinny to kiss it. I'm not even making this up. This is real. And like, ye sab full nazarandaz. Even against Valencia, like, it was so weird. That match was at Madrid, okay, in the new stadium. Azim, that pitch, it looked like Azad Maidan.
I think you mean Suparitala.
Yeah, sure. Exactly, Suparita. It was so bad that the Madrid players were looking like, when we play seven-a-side in a rink,
Yeah.
the ball is bobbing up so Asensio can't hit it. It's one of those fucking. And
But
then,
they've done this on purpose. No, obviously.
no, because why would you do it for your team who knows how to play football? Like,
Okay, fair point.
so, for example, so Asensio miskicks his shot because the ball bounces up, and then that it's such a expression that you know what this is. Where he first looks at the ball bobbing away, then he looks at the ground, and then he shakes his head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and in general, too. So the other thing is there is this. And the only bright spot is the rise of Danny Ceballos. And unfortunately, so till last season, right? Till last season, uh, Cruz and Modric, they were just squeezing whatever they could out of those two. Now it's more and more evident that like it would be wrong to play both of them together.
Oh, that much now, yeah?
It's pretty like
But
it's
which is
so
the
that's what
one
he's
that is more culpable?
I also think so what he's doing right now is he's keeping Modric more and more on the bench, and I suspect the reason for that is he's older, plus I think this year has been very long. So
Yeah.
for a Mhatara person to play one full World Cup in Qatar, then come back, now he's going to go for Club World Cup.
Oh yeah, fuck, forgot about that.
Now they're off to fucking I forget where it is. They're off to the other end of the world for the Club World Cup. So this is going to be the longest, most painful season because there is just no cover. How can your thing be कि अच्छा चल अभी गोल चाहिए तो मैं मारियानो को पूछता हूँ यार. How can that still be a sentence that people are saying? How does Ancelotti through the chewing gum still have the fucking
Because
how
they
is he
will
not
not settle for
exploding?
any striker that is not Mbappe, no. The prodigal son has to arrive.
Arey, get one loan signing from somewhere who you can boot out when Mbappe comes. Get something.
Would you have taken at your at this thing Wout Weghorst on loan?
Yeah. Because I think Wout Weghorst has in general scored at least a few more goals than Mariano. Dude, Mariano is like, it's like Mariano is a parachute that is kept in case of emergency. And when the emergency happens, you strap on the parachute, jump out of the plane, and then figure out that the parachute doesn't even work.
Yeah, you realize
Like there is a
actually
gash.
ये backpack है.
Or
Yeah.
you take it out and you realize छोड़ना यार कौन खोलेगा ये parachute.
इससे अच्छा मर ही जाता हूँ.
That's why the name is Mariano.
It's that.
I would have taken any of these strikers, dude. 100%. Aja. And I would make Mariano give up his shirt right then and there. तू इधर दे और निकल चल.
You will take Lukaku?
Yeah. Because at least he does thumbs up after fucking up the ball. Like this guy doesn't even get to the ball. How Mariano, yeah.
Luke De Jong.
Yeah.
I just want to see where Kautuk draws the line.
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Ronaldo
Ronaldo,
you'll take?
100%. 100%. Bro, we should have signed him. He was willing to come. Training ground pe tha wo.
Ziyech?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Talisca.
I don't think
solves
there is
all problems.
Alice ka to. Darwin Núñez, I would have drawn the line. Maybe Gakpo, not so much. Like Gakpo, I would have taken 7 games before.
Before Liverpool ruined him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know whether we dodged a bullet or not on Gakpo. I can't be sure whether it's just him not able to adapt to Premier League already or it's just Liverpool being shit right now. I can't tell.
Yeah. Ricky Puig, you found the line, Hussein.
Yeah.
Ricky Puig is the line.
But do you think you'll go for Salah in the summer? Because Salah will want to GTFO immediately from Liverpool now.
So
and
I'll
need
tell you
also a
now.
right wing person.
You think Tuchel to Liverpool or what?
Just to spite
Tuchel-
Chelsea, sure.
Tuchel to Liverpool or maybe even Tuchel to Madrid.
Madrid.
Depending on how this season pans out. Because so far, Ancelotti, to his credit, has done the max he can. So another thing about the Mallorca match, Asensio misses a penalty. Okay, that could have at least given us a draw. Okay, it comes around the 59th minute. Okay, and वो क्या must thakta hai, just unbelievable. Okay, and I don't know why we are experimenting. He's our 5th penalty taker of the season. I don't know why we're doing this. Why? Like, I thought like, okay, if Benzema doesn't do it, give it to Rodrigo. I thought did a decent job every time he's taken
No.
it. So just give it to him. I don't know why this whole like, and I suspect it's because he's doing this morale boosting crap where Asensio is disgruntled because Rodrigo's taken his place. So let me give him some boost in terms of like, here, take a penalty. But fuck it. If Asensio wants to leave, let him go because he's not the player that he was. We need so many covers on so many different places. Like Kamavinga is still playing left back, and my fear is कि वो इतना अच्छा खेल रहा है कि उसको बना देगा left back. फिर गया अपना Kamavinga.
Literal
Fucking hell,
Kamavinga
yeah.
only will become. Cam Savinga. No, but
Yeah.
fair. As the FC Barcelona says, 8 points clear from second place. Real do Madrid. Man, I hate to be a Madrid fan. 8 to be a Madrid fan. Kautuk और अंशुमन फटी को कोई नहीं ले जाएगा हमसे. Okay.
Anshuman Fati.
I think Bayern are interested, no, in Anshuman Fati apparently.
Yeah. By the way, there's one excellent Tifo video on the injury problems of Ansu Fati. And it's pretty brutal, like the stuff that he's had to undergo, and like some of his, and it kind of makes sense why they don't play him enough now, because the last time they rushed him, and then he was out for another stint. So it's a pretty bad scene.
By the way, have you heard the story of Isco?
What is the story of?
What has happened?
Where did he go now?
Union Berlin agreed to sign free agent Isco, but
Oh,
the
yeah,
deal collapsed even after he passed his medical.
Why did it collapse? But
Apparently, agent after passing medical was so surprised कि fuck medical pass हो गया इसका, that he was like कि अभी थोड़ा पैसा ज़्यादा दो, and then they were like no thanks, see you, bye bye.
अरे यार इसको खाली फुकट. Oh, by the way, so while I was researching on this Hakim Ziyech situation, there was one hilarious thing about Arsenal strategy. Okay, so in this one particular year, Arsenal had an injury. Okay, so they were like, let us go and buy a player. So they went and bought this player called Kim Kallstrom.
Oh, I've heard of this guy. Yes.
And they find out while they're doing his medical that he has even more serious injuries. And for some odd reason they said, "चल ठीक है यार, अभी हम लोग ने बात कर ली है तो ठीक है, ले आओ."
So no, wait. One of the great stories, and Atharva found this absolute gem this week. Do you know of a league or site called Riems? Okay.
Riems.
Yes, they have a 30-year-old.
Not.
Yeah, Riems. They have a 30-year-old English manager who is their manager, but he does not have a pro license. So they are fined £22,000 for every match that he takes charge of. And the beauty of it, the most poetically named man of all time, can you guess what this man's name is?
Wait, it's no licensio.
No, but you will love it. They are fined 22,000 every time he takes charge of them. But his name is Will Still. Will Still. He will still take charge. It's unbelievable.
He
What
and
a
his
great
brother
name.
can't stop. That's amazing.
And his stepbrother would have.
And the sister but didn't.
Where does it end?
Ayush reel can't reel.
Oh, will still. But so cool, 30-year-old English manager, dude. He doesn't have a pro license.
So
Apparently,
who
no.
pays
So
this 22,000?
this guy apparently he was a football manager prodigy, and ended up
Yeah.
as their manager. He's apparently Belgian or something like that, but English origin.
Bro, how many times does he put arm around? Idhar aa.
No, but one sec. So who pays this 22,000?
The club, I'm assuming.
But they have
So the thing is
basically
that they have
one.
gone 12 games without defeat since this guy has taken over. So they're
Oh,
like, if it's working, it's better than relegation, actually.
Yeah,
so then they're paying 22,000 weekly wage. So his wage is whatever wage is weekly plus 22,000.
Yeah. So 30-year-old, half English, half Belgium, Reims manager Will Still coached Preston under 14s and was assistant at 3 Belgian teams, becoming Reims number 2 last year. Now head coach. Club are fined 22K per match because he doesn't have his pro license yet. However, they are unbeaten in 12 games.
Come on, FM.
It's insane.
FM
dude.
indeed.
It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. These are the kind of stories you want to hear, man. Excellent. Very good catch. Very
But-
good find, Athara.
Azim, do you think, like, FM, do you think it contributes to general being astute as a manager?
I think the tactics of it, yeah, because it does simulate the thing fairly well, and just sort of understanding team shapes and understanding like what kind of tactical formation has what kind of impact on the players and all of that does help. And also, yeah, by the way, they've played PSG twice in these last 12 games, and he's beaten PSG as well.
Wow.
So it's insane.
Fuck, that's something, huh?
Yeah. And one great stat I had of would you like to guess? Would you like to hazard a guess, wager a guess at Liverpool's top 5 goal scorers in the Premier League since the World Cup?
Wait.
There are in this list, I'll make it slightly easier for you. There are 4 players on 1 goal each and 1 player on 2 goals.
James Milner, is he one of them?
James Milner is not.
Not
He's
that.
not.
Fuck.
No.
Okay, is Salah one of them?
Salah has 1 goal. He is ranked 3rd, yes.
Nunu?
Darwin, no.
Not there.
No.
Bajcetic.
Bajcetic is correct, yes.
Is he the one on 2 or is he one on?
He's got
is he
1.
on 1? 1. Okay.
Don't look
Van
at chat.
Dijk.
Don't look at chat. Van Dijk, yes,
Van
correct.
Dijk.
Van Dijk is 2nd place with 1 goal. I'll give you the 5th one, who's also on 1 goal. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Can you tell me?
Wow.
Can you tell me their top goal scorer with 2 goals?
Wait. Is it? It can't be Henderson, no? It can't be. Don't tell me it's Henderson.
No, it's not. It is.
Oh, thank
it
fuck.
is Leicester player Woutface, who scored 2 own goals against them.
It's Leicester player.
It's terrible, dude. Oh my god.
ब्रो ये जो भी मैं सिर्फ बोल रहा है ठीक है मालूम है सब लोग काम करता है इस पे लेकिन जो भी ऐसा सब स्टैट निकालता है ना ये मादरचोद लोग हैं सच्ची में ये मादरचोद लोग हैं वो सब स्टैट है ना
Yeah.
where Chelsea have now signed more players than wins this season ये सब बहुत मादरचोद लोग होते हैं
Yeah.
You know, someone
As-
had done, Baba, in cruel stats, someone had done. Mbappe has scored 5 goals in his last 7 games. What a player. And then he had posted where he had scored the goals. All 5 goals in one match. Against some Chutia Cup team.
Yeah. But Liga, like PSG are not, I mean, they're still on top of Liga, but
yeah but
not
this PSG problem is
comprehensively. Well, actually, quite
PSG has to be
comprehensively.
like, you know, PSG has to be like Bayern in the 2000s and 2010s, which is some 20 points off the second place. You know, like that's how you have to win, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Wait.
Dude.
Rams are
So-
sitting nicely in 10th place, man. 30 points. 2 wins and 3
Okay.
draws in their last 5. Excellent.
अरे
Hello,
Oh,
friends.
ho.
How are you,
क्या बात है?
friends?
क्या बात है?
Oh.
क्या बात है? Tushar
By
Ravichandani has
the way,
made it.
fun fact about Rams. So now they've figured out a shady way. The assistant manager has a license. So on paper, the assistant manager is the manager, and the manager is the assistant manager.
Still will.
Yeah, still will.
So this
Also,
is
fun
some.
fact: Rams striker is the highest goal scorer, Mr. Florian Balogun. हमारा लड़का है, लोन पे गया.
अरे क्या बात है क्या बात है क्या बात है तो बुलाओ ना
Lacazette भी है
वापस
ना?
why did not call him back when you need a striker
He'll come back. No, he'll ऐसा सलीबा की तरह ऐसा पूरा ऐसा पक के वापस आएगा.
अरे तुम लोग का Lacazette is in Lyon. I mean,
Yeah, he's killing it, dude.
and he scored 13 goals. He's the second. He's above Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah,
there are certain strikers who are just made for the French league you know
because ना भागना नहीं पड़ता ना फ्रांस
Yeah.
में.
Tushar Abhichandani,
Yes, sir.
welcome to 442.
Thank you, sir.
I want to ask you about a
Also,
question.
fuck you for Jorginho. I texted Baba. I was like, साले तूने इतना बोला कि ले लो. सच में ले लिया साले को.
but what were your views on this Everton game what were your
So
thoughts
I was actually legit nervous because the last 5 times they played Everton at Goodison Park, they've either lost or drawn. Neither Emery nor Arteta has actually won a game at Goodison
oh
Park.
interesting
It's one of those
Bogey
weird
team.
bogey teams. Like जैसा पहले वो स्टोक के साथ होता था, अभी एवर्टन के साथ होने लगा है पिछले 5-6 साल से.
I also think it's that thing, no, of new manager.
Bounce, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sean Dyche has a history against Arsenal. Burnley also always, whenever you played Burnley away, they always either got a
Yeah.
draw. It's just that super defensive Dyche ball that he plays. Just Arsenal just get fucked with it. Can't deal with it.
But what was the problem? Like, because you all have been as a ripping everybody to shreds. Like, you could understand, like, you know, the previous
think-
teams where Arsenal fragile team get bullied by teams and all that. वो नहीं है this season. तो वो ये कैसे होगा?
But it's maybe if you see, I think it was just. I think this was going like कुछ होता है इनको Goodison Park में. जैसे Old Trafford में इनको हमेशा कुछ होता है. Same ऐसा Goodison Park में हमेशा कुछ होता है. And also, I don't know, like it's feeling a little weird. Like even in the United game, even though they won, like, and Saka scored that awesome goal, but like there was starting to be a bit of a drop off. Like even and especially Martinelli is नहीं हो रहा
Little off the
उसका वो.
boil, no?
Thoda off the boil, and consecutively over the last 2 games, like even the City FA Cup one, where they both the defenders managed to keep Saka quiet, City and Everton. So it's like I think they are reaching that like slight sort of exhaustion stage because they've also been playing consistently non-stop. ठीक है, अभी Trossard आ गया तो hopefully maybe at least on the left he'll sort of
he
manage
looked
the
quite
load
good,
a
yeah.
little.
In that first game
He
that he
looked good,
played, he
yeah.
was like very
He
full
looked
of
very
running
good.
and
He looked
into.
very good. Like even the City game, they lost by like fucking Ake of all people scores from
Yeah.
his right foot, which
Yeah,
was so random. So, but yeah, I think this is that. I think a little drop off is coming. You can see it. Like even Partey keeps thoda sa off. He's not. The passes are not happening the way they were. Like, and I was having like one of those like fuck. ये like अभी ये वापस चालू होने वाला है, फिर ये ड्रॉप ऑफ होगा, फिर वापस सबका गाली सुनना पड़ेगा.
Oh
And
God.
I thank Tottenham for at least delaying it a bit, if not like
No,
saving
but
us.
Abhi, don't worry. Abhi, City are going to be out of the picture in a couple of weeks.
भरोसा नहीं है ना यार, you don't know that team यार. It's so fucking
नहीं sanction
no.
sanction.
sanction हाँ. So but again वो ऐसा होगा, वो Red Bull की तरह ऐसा अगले साल तुम ऐसा 6 दिन प्रैक्टिस कम करना.
Yeah.
नहीं, but it's one of those where like how when
Azim,
they had got banned, हाँ.
Azim, मैं एक second आ रहा हूँ. एक call है, but also I'm checking with that.
Yes. We have a second surprise guest who we are trying to get, so we'll see.
We're
if we
trying
can
to get
him.
hold on.
हाँ, but
Yeah.
sorry, what was I saying?
The City का ban.
हाँ, because earlier when they had received that ban of 2 साल Champions League नहीं खेल सकता, which then got overturned.
This time they can't go to
they
the
can't go to that
arbitration
court of
court, yeah.
arbitration and all of that. So
Oh.
But I don't know. So at max, I see that maybe they'll fuck with them next season. I don't know if they're gonna overturn like past stuff. Because
past
then it
stuff
just
तो नहीं.
opens
I
up
think
to-
it would be like because from what we can see,
I think ये season ऐसा 10 point काटे तो अच्छा है.
हाँ, I agree.
In my unbiased opinion.
I agree. 10 point or exactly as many points as they are ahead of Manchester United, उतना तो काटना ही चाहिए.
Or Haaland, you can't.
हाँ, no
like
Haaland
छोड़
allowed.
दो.
Yeah, just
Yeah, no Haaland.
this is true
उसको
financial
बेचना ही
fair
मत
play. Yeah. Sell
the
Hanan to
code-
closest rival.
Yeah.
No, or yeah, fine. Closest rival or Madrid. I'm okay with either. Verdict.
Also, I was hearing in the cab, I was hearing देखा देख Danny Ceballos देख हमने तेरे को ऐसा पका के दिया हम लोग ने तेरे को
Arey,
लड़का
like
हमने
in
तैयार
the-
किया है
Tushar, in the last stream, I gave him the highest compliment that I could possibly give him. I said that he's Zidane without the alopecia. It's the highest possible thing that I could. Because what a magical, like he
Yeah.
does those. Yeah, but you're right. He does those Arsenal things. Huh? वो सब
Yeah,
flick,
so
flick
1.5
कर रहा है.
half season he was with Emery, and I think sorry, 1 season he was with Emery, and half season he was with Arteta. But then they wanted to buy him, and he said, "No, man, yeah, I'll stay at
thank
Madrid."
fuck. Whew. Close one.
And also Kim Kallstrom, amazing story.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he literally played, I think, 2 games.
four games I think in total.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
was reading about it.
And और एक उसमें एक penalty score किया तो बस हो गया. FA Cup में.
Hilarious.
We've had a lot of those. There was that Denis Suarez from Barcelona who came, then he got injured, so ऐसा वो भी 4 गेम खेल के गया.
Fuck yeah,
Who है? Dennis Suarez
What?
Arsenal आया था.
हाँ, अरे वो
हाँ,
6 महीने जैन विंडो में लिया था और फिर वो आया, इंजर हो गया. पहला 1 महीना 3 गेम खेला, उसके बाद इंजर होके देवर लाइक ओके चल अब कैंसिल ही करते, तू खेल ही नहीं पाएगा पूरा सीजन.
Tushar,
Who's that, right?
who's the oddest player, like a counterintuitive to Arsenal? Like you can't believe that he played for your club type player that you have.
Andre Santos, dude, fuck. You know the story about Andre Santos. That's so after he got like, he went from, he was terrible and he went from club to club. Then finally he played in some Brazilian club. फैन इतना गुस्सा थे कि उसको मार के गए, चमाट मार के गए. Like, fuck you, Andre Santos. Like, even in the Brazilian second division, वो चमाट खा के आया है फैन से. Then we had that Sebastian Squillaci.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Squillaci, fuck.
Squillaci.
Yeah. And what else? There were so many others. Yeah, the fucking Gervinho,
Yeah,
Kolasinac,
Gervinho.
Chamak.
Kolasinac, Chamak. Fuck yeah, Chamak.
No,
Chamak
but
at least
I
had, like,
mean,
Chamak had 3 good months at least.
I mean, even in a good way. Like for example, like one player that comes to mind for Madrid is we had Emmanuel Adebayor on loan in one season with Ronaldo, everyone. Like, and
Yeah.
Adebayor is there in that. It's a odd flux of
That was a
character.
and he pissed off every club he went to. He pissed them off. Although he had that one grand season, I think 2007 or 8, where he scored like 30 goals,
Yeah.
which was kind of insane.
Yeah.
Then City bought him, and then he did that asshole thing where he scored against
Yeah,
Arsenal
and then went fully
went and
running.
celebrated in front of the Arsenal fans for no reason.
Yeah, and then joined
Uh,
Spurs just to fuck with Arsenal.
Spurs फिर वापस से पता नहीं अजीब सा था वो उसका
Like-
मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया वन डे का उसका पंगा क्या था.
Like I think for United, Falcao would have been that, weird, like, oh, he played for them also.
Yeah.
But then they just signed so many of these old strikers on loan /
We were
Falcao
lucky. We
was
want to
hot.
complete the set of all strikers who were relevant in mid 2010s.
Yeah. No, and dude, Falcao, I think fucked his career because he had that great season before he joined Monaco, and then he joined Monaco and just like
Yeah,
पूरा fuck हो गया उसका.
and he was at where he was at the Atletico, no? Before that.
Atletico, I think. Yeah.
And
No,
yeah,
Atletico.
Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin also. They both came
Yeah.
together. I was just wondering yesterday, what is Morgan Schneiderlin up to? Let us find out.
What is he up to?
Yeah, I know. मेरे को याद है Arsenal also wanted.
Oh,
him,
he's
but,
playing
like,
in
the
Australia
United
now.
one.
All right.
Hilarious.
Nice.
At
Dude, so
33.
like, the one player that I thought was such a huge signing, but then it was such a huge letdown because of the expectation, was when Kaká signed for Real Madrid.
But
Right?
he
I was
had
like,
his
oh,
moments. He
bhai.
had his moments at Real still.
He had a few moments, but it was so underwhelming because it was such a big.
Also I realized there was this phase from around 2005 to 15 where there were a bunch of Brazilian players who were supposed to be the next big thing. Robinho, Kaká, Kaká still he had at Milan, he did killer things.
Adriano.
Adriano,
Oh
फिर
my
वो
God, that
दो
guy.
तीन
This
और थे
phase-
who just came and just like
This
then they
phase you're
disappeared.
talking about, what phase was it?
2005 to 15.
What phase? Sorry, I'm just saying the name of the player. What phase? That's all.
What? Oh, अच्छा.
the top scorer of
Complete,
Liverpool since World
very,
Cup.
very subtle reference.
Fucking hell.
Fair point. Wait, let me see if there are any Arsenal-based super chats that I can ask for Tushar. Hold on. But do you think the squad is good enough to handle the rigors now of all the football coming?
I think if Jesus and
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
if Jesus and Emil Smith Rowe come back full energy.
Oh, हाँ, Smith Rowe भी missing है ना बहुत time
Tushar,
से.
yeah, what happened to Smith Rowe? What is the
So he's had a groin
give us
problem
a-
for years, which he finally got operated this year, which put him out for a couple of months. And then he came back. He put in a couple of substitute things, and then beach me again. He went out because Arteta was like he's a little. I think there's some issue, so they're sorting that out. I hope it's not a big issue. Depth-wise, I think as much as I don't like the Jorginho thing, it's still a decent depth thing for the time being.
मतलब better upgrade from Lokonga.
Lokonga, fuck.
Where
Seriously.
did he go, Sambi? He went somewhere, no?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
आ
Yeah.
गया ना यूनाइटेड का पैर तोड़ने वापस उधर.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things. But again, every team is, I mean, except City is going through a depth issue also. So
Oh
क्या
boy,
पता अपना
tell
भी
me
गिरेगा,
about it.
दूसरों का भी गिरेगा. And yeah, Madrid तो
We are also going.
Aubameyang ले लो थोड़ा.
We are also
Bro.
going through a depth issue, but in the striker
It
and
was-
goal area.
You are going through a depth issue in the sense that you keep going deeper.
Yes, the depth is unending.
Bro, we have a player called Alvaro Odriozola, who is a paperweight, who is a mannequin. He is there to advertise that this is what a jersey will look on you if you wore it.
अरे Phil Jones can't even do that, Kautuk. Because वो जर्सी के टाइम पे उसका फोटो लेगा ऐसा ऐसा मुंह रहेगा उसका, they'll be like fuck कौन खरीदेगा ये जर्सी, छोड़ो यार.
अरे एटलीस्ट तुम्हारे लोग का क्या है, एटलीस्ट वो इंजरी हमारा तो वैन पर्सी को 8 साल खिलाया विद इंजरी एक अच्छा सीजन और भोगने का चला गया साला. वो तो सच अ बिग स्लैप. खिलाया 8 सीजन तेरे को खींचा, तेरे पे इतना सारा, तेरे पे इसमें केस वेस भी चल रहा था, तभी भी उसको रखा.
Yes.
Bastard. That's why they hate it.
You know, there is no in between. Na? Either you are a buyer club or a feeder club. Like there is no, I'm a guy who just is.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the City Tottenham game.
Arey, that
Oh, it was
very
a good game.
It was
It was a
actually a
good
good game. Yeah. And
Yeah, I was like, good job, Tottenham, good job.
और फिर केन मारा
but
है
now
goal.
Harry Kane, now that he's achieved everything that he can at Spurs, now
He should
surely he
go,
should
dude.
go yaar. Abhi ho gaya.
If he's
become top
stupid if he
scorer.
doesn't go.
But he
He's
won't go.
stupid if he doesn't go.
Azim, you want to set up? Our G is on the way.
All right, I just have to press guess 2, which I will do.
Okay, so for people in the chat, if you guys remember, sometime back we had someone who writes for the BBC sports section, Dr. Raj Chauhan, who's also a doctor by day for some reason,
Yes.
but is a football analyst.
Yes,
So he's
aka
coming to
the
talk,
footy doctor.
the footy doctor on Instagram. He's coming and he's going to talk to us about the big news, the Manchester City,
City.
Nice.
and of course we'll get some other little tidbits about why Chelsea has decided to buy half of the footballing community,
Yes.
and things like that. So, but while he comes, we can continue. Tushar, you can do your analysis about why Arsenal is going to win this league.
Okay, but Tushar, you still have that feeling, no? That it's like come March may be the month where it ends.
Yeah, there's a thing where all of us are like, just we'll wait. Abhi, April mein dekh. You know, if it's like, if there are 3 games left and Arsenal still need to like draw, I'll still be like, ruko abhi, ruko.
All
Hi
right.
Raj. Hello, we're already live.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
You're still in your scrubs. You just got
Yeah.
home, is it?
Yeah, I just got back now.
Wow,
Oh,
thanks so
man.
much, man. Thank you so much for taking the time
Thank
out.
you so much for doing
No
this.
problem.
We're all just going to shut up, and I think you haven't met Tushar, but I know you remember Azim and Kautuk from the last time. That's
Hi,
Tushar.
Raj.
and
Yeah.
That's Raj.
Good to see you guys again. How
Yeah.
are we all?
No, so happy to have you. What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with why Chelsea is buying half the footballing world? Do you want to talk about Is that a
Yeah.
good strategy, or do you want to start with
Yeah.
say City, or do you want to give us news on why Real Madrid can't play football anymore?
Yeah, I mean, all three very good topics. I think, should we start off with the Man City? I mean, it's
Yeah,
big
I've been
breaking
following
Yeah,
your
news
yeah.
tweets
today.
like all day about it, so it's fascinating.
Yeah, so I actually got word about Man City getting punished about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Premier League have been doing this investigation for about 4 years now. So 2019 it started. You guys will probably remember UEFA actually were the first
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
investigate, and it was over similar evidence. So there was information leaked that Manchester City had been inflating their sponsorships, inflating the revenues that they've been getting, and then that allows them to spend more money in the transfer market.
Yep.
Because you can then, because FFP is basically dictated on, you can spend how much you generate.
Yep.
So they've been inflating how much they generated. So that was number one. They're inflating certain amounts of money, but they've also been creating fake sponsorships allegedly,
Yeah.
where they're setting up these kind of fake companies,
Shell companies.
which
Yeah.
shell companies. Yeah, exactly. Shell companies. Something like, it's like out of a criminal documentary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been setting up these companies which don't actually have any address, don't have any anything associated with them. They're essentially fake. But yeah, so that's number two. Number three, they've been giving payments allegedly to managers and players off the books. So similar to what Juventus have been doing, sliding backhanders underneath. There was a report a year or so ago that Roberto Mancini was getting paid by, he was getting paid when he was Man City manager via an offshore account. And actually, Pep Guardiola was asking in a press conference about this, and Pep reacted very defensively. He said, "No, I've got nothing to do with this." So who knows if it's still going on with Pep or anyone else?
Hasn't Pep somewhere made a statement saying that I asked the board and they tell me the truth? The day I find out that they lie, I will be gone. And if he said
Exactly.
that, then should we
Why
now?
is he not gone? Yeah.
Yeah. So is it now Thomas Tuchel or?
No, you're right, Neville. I think Pep will be very disappointed unless he's implicit in it. We don't know that. I think he will be disappointed in what he's been told, because he's been told they've been innocent this whole time. So it will be interesting to see. I think already there's some murmurings, Pep saying that when the squad cycle is done, when the dressing room isn't fully backing what I'm doing, which you're seeing on the pitch a bit this season, I will leave. I don't think I've got any more a further role to play. So maybe these two things now, the on-pitch stuff and this off-pitch stuff together, even seeing the likes of João Cancelo leaving the club because the dressing room seems to be disrupted at Man City these days, that maybe his future will be questioned. So yeah, definitely a big story. Also, it's multiple seasons we're talking about. 100 separate charges Man City have been labelled with today. So it's not just one. And it's affected seasons from, I've got it written here, 2009 all the way to 2018. That is massive.
That's huge. Also,
sorry, Gautam, go for it.
The thing I was going to ask was, what is the consequences of this? Like, so if they're found guilty, what happens?
That's a good question. I read the Premier League rule book on my lunchtime today, actually, and I saw
that is a very productive lunchtime.
So I think the sanctions that they can label are fines. They can sanction points and deduct points off them. Also, written in the rule book is they can be expelled from the league. That is a possible punishment.
Ooh.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I don't. I mean, knowing what City has done and the fact that UEFA won't repeal any Champions Leagues that they've won. But I'm just saying, do you think expulsion from the league is an actual possibility, or do you think it'll just be a points dock and a severe fine with maybe like a ban on a transfer window or something?
So, Neville, that's a good question. I think I like to use the Juventus situation as a bit of context here. Yeah. Those guys were found guilty of charges, I think 2 or 3 seasons. This is a whole decade of potential fraudulence. So and Juventus got docked 15 points. I think this could be much bigger than a points deduction, I think. That is my initial feeling anyway. And there was a lawyer actually who supports Manchester City. He's quite big on social media. I think his username is SLBN. He's a Man City fan as well, and he said he thinks expulsion is a real possibility. I think they've done so. And the other thing about this charge is with UEFA actually managed to get that. They got out of the UEFA thing by appealing to the Court of Arbitration of Sport. In fact, the Premier League rules actually don't allow them to appeal to CAS this time, the Court of Arbitration. They can't appeal to CAS on this one. And also, the way they got out of the UEFA one was the claims were because UEFA are a bit stupid. We know that, don't they? They don't have there's not the sharpest brains working at UEFA. They put a rule saying you can only be punished in a certain time frame. Okay. So the time frame actually elapsed for Manchester City to get punished. So the Man City lawyers, of course, presented that, found a loophole. So it wasn't that they weren't guilty. It was the time the claims were tied. Yeah, there is a technicality. So this technicality doesn't exist in the Premier League rules. So I think this is going to be a severe punishment.
But I do have one question, sorry, Baba, because I was reading like the statement that one of the journalists had put out, and they said that there's going to be a private hearing happening to see this. And that's one of the other questions. Like, don't you find it a little suspicious that like a matter of this magnitude would be in a private hearing? Like, why would you not make it public for the entire world to see what has actually gone on?
That is very true. I suppose. Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that one. Why they would make it private over public? Yeah, because obviously you see in places like America, they make court hearings public all the time, don't they? So yeah, I think for the general public, they would probably prefer that, and obviously it would stop any corruption going on or any accusations of that. But yeah, no, I agree with you there. Actually.
And you get Peter Drury to narrate it while it's happening. Be perfect.
No, get Martin Tyler. No, I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. Because they can't.
No, in 2009, so he can again say Aguero.
Also, like considering that this has happened to City about financial fair play, how scared are Chelsea right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Chelsea have been a bit clever of how they've done it. Have you seen how all the players that they've signed are on massive contracts?
Yeah.
So 8, 9, 10-year contracts.
Yeah, the entirety of their career. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Post football while they're pensioning.
Yeah, they've got their pensions already sorted. But yeah, what they've done is because there's a thing obviously called player amortization. They've amortized all these fees over those years. So Enzo Fernandez, 112 million. That'll be split. I think was it an 8-year contract?
8.5.
That'll be 8.5-year contract. So that'll be 12. That means it's going to be 12 million a year. So they've been clever in that way.
And if he ends up being Van Ginkel, we're paying his medical bill too. So
Oh yes, I remember. Was that Marco Van Ginkel? Yeah. He was the guy you offered a massive contract to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, that is a risky approach. You don't know whether they will become an injury-prone player. But yeah, with Chelsea, I think also Chelsea generate revenues a lot more organically than Man City. The Abramovich era started in 2003. They've had a decade head start on Man City in terms of boosting their commercial output. And I think Chelsea are a bigger club generally in the world still than Man City. So they might not have the need to inflate their sponsorships and revenues like Man City have done. I don't know what it's like. Is it in India? Do you see many Man City fans around?
Still surprisingly fewer. Fewer than you would imagine.
The closest we've got to seeing a Man City fan in India is you wearing the scrubs on our stream. That's like the closest we have to a City jersey that you're going to find.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just hope that it's more than 15 points because at 15 points, they're equal to Chelsea. In points.
Yeah.
I think all of us the same story, isn't it?
For the sanctity of football, I think they should be docked points. And because, just because I'm an Arsenal fan has nothing to do with that.
Well, Arteta was Pep's right-hand man at Man City as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I hope he's not involved. It would be the most Arsenal thing for like someone else to be involved somewhere else.
The amazing is Arsenal
Arsenal
docked
gets
5
through.
points by proxy. Just
Uh,
Manchester United champions. Man.
yeah, beautiful. And do you think this is an actual possibility where, like, I doubt it would happen, but like all the memes and the talk has been about, Ole is gonna have 2 Premier League titles because they're gonna take like 2 City titles away. But I don't think they would take titles away. I don't think it would go that far.
Yeah, I think the only time that's happened is the Calciopoli scandal, which was Juventus again.
Yeah.
They seem to be involved in everything.
Yeah.
Those guys in the mid 2000s obviously paid the refs money and bribed the refs. That's a whole new level. They were
Such a beautifully mafia thing to do.
Yeah, incredible, really. But yeah, so they paid the refs and they were docked their titles. They were stripped their titles. I think they were giving it to Inter Milan as a result. I don't think they will go that far. I think that is a whole new level. I think the most we'll see is an expulsion. It'll be interesting to see what happens then.
I'm curious about one thing though. I mean, if this was an accusation that's been running since 2009 with multiple cases and multiple points of evidence that have been gathered, I mean, it's taken them almost a decade to put the case together, despite a couple of the appeals, say the UEFA incident, etc. I'm just wondering why a decade? Was it just really thorough, or were they waiting for them to really fuck up?
Well, I think basically what happened was they used the evidence from the UEFA case. The Premier League only started their case in 2019 because they saw what happened with UEFA and they used that evidence. And it took 4 years from there. I think I did hear a conspiracy theory of someone I know that they were waiting for the Pep and Klopp era to fade before bringing this case to light because they were benefiting too much commercially from the Pep and Klopp rivalry. And then it struck me today, the Pep and Klopp rivalry's ended this season, and now it's come to light. So I was a bit suspicious about that.
The other rumor that I heard was that the head of this committee is an Arsenal fan.
But that's the thing about any conspiracy theory, right? It needs to seem like it could be true. Like, it just has to have that. It has to depend on the cynicism of the fans, just enough.
But speaking of conspiracy theories, like, genuine question. Is there a case to be made of something to the effect of too big to fail? That they're too important, or they've just got too many players that are.
I mean, they can't even fill up their stadium. So.
Yeah,
But is there a case for that to be made? There's too much money coming in, or whatever it is.
I think because Manchester City aren't, I'd say they're not even in the top 4. They're not definitely on the top 4 biggest clubs in England. I think maybe if it was one of the, shall we call them, the aristocrats like Manchester United or Liverpool, then I think there'd be a bigger case of that. I think with Man City, they're not the guys who are really attracting so many fans to the Premier League as much. They're still a building enterprise.
Yeah.
So I think the Premier League might see it. We've got the likes of Newcastle on the rise now. They could easily just take Man City's spot. Newcastle have a bigger fan base themselves. So I don't think that will be the case. I think that the integrity of the competition needs protecting as well. I think this is the key point that many people miss with this financial doping, if it is proved. Man City, the squad quality they've had over the years is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't assemble that amount of depth without some kind of, whilst obeying FFP, without some kind of jiggering of the books. I don't think it was possible. They had 2 quality world-class players for almost every position.
Yeah.
And I think that deserves to be punished, in my opinion, if you haven't done it correctly.
Yeah. I mean, I fully agree, because we're making do with Mariano over there.
Yeah, that's what Madrid, even in the Galactico era, could not do what City have done with regards to those positions.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah, we still had Pavon. I'll just be back.
And Galacticos and still they've got some Champions Leagues. Sorry.
That's true as well. So, yeah, I mean, you look at the side they had Aguero and Jesus as 2 strikers. They had Leroy Sané, Sterling, Mahrez as their wingers. Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Rodri, Fernandinho, all in their midfield.
Madness.
Against
Centre-backs,
Spurs, I
they
mean,
spent-
they didn't start De Bruyne or Gundogan against Spurs. I mean, that's the level of depth you're talking about right now. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Quickly, I know you've had a tiring day, so we'll talk about two things before Kautuk comes back. One is, Azim, do you have any questions about United? Tushar, do you have any questions about Arsenal? And do you think, what do you think is, I have a Chelsea question, which is, where do you think do you think Potter can take this team somewhere, or is Potter just not, and it may sound controversial, so you can choose to not answer it, but do you think Potter gets this team over the line, or is this something that Kautuk, what we're doing is we're asking one question about our clubs to to the doctor before he bounces. Just so, do you think Potter gets us over the line with this team, or do you think there's another manager that's probably on the rise?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, as you know, Neville, I was a big Thomas Tuchel fan. I still don't, till this day, I have no idea why Todd Boehly sacked that guy.
Yeah.
I think it was mainly due to off-pitch issues where he had a bit of friction with Boehly in terms of transfers. But in my opinion, Chelsea didn't have the correct structure in place in the boardroom, which meant Tuchel had to get too involved in all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a big difference, I think, between Tuchel and Potter. My big issue with Potter is he doesn't know what his best system is. He doesn't know where the players should be playing and who the best players are. He's changing it around too much. I think that was also a problem with him at Brighton. If you see what Roberto De Zerbi's done at Brighton, he's actually improved on what Potter did by having a stricter structure in the team and having players playing in the same role all the time. Potter, yeah, I'm not too impressed in what he's done so far, especially the game on the against Fulham. He was playing Mount and Gallagher as two number 8s as an example. Those guys aren't a complementary pairing. They're both very hard workers, very good off the ball. On the ball, they don't create much. And things like that. He's not getting the balance of the side well, right. Mm-hmm. And even on the right wing, you saw Hakim Ziyech was the guy staying wide. Reece James was in field. I'd have that the other way around. I'd have Reece James bombing on down the right flank.
Yeah,
he should be the guy whipping crosses in. That's what he's best at. And Ziyech can come inside and create from there. He's doing little things like that, and I don't think he's getting the balance of the side right. And of course, the transfers I think are good. João Felix is a good signing. Mudryk, top talent. Enzo Fernandez, top talent. The others, I'm not too sure about. Madueke, Badiashile, there's still a few questions over those guys. Those first three, though, very good. But I think Todd Boehly is the type of guy, he will sack you if you're not doing too well. And there are managers out there. Zinedine Zidane hasn't been appointed by France, so he's still available. I think the guy who actually replaced Potter at Brighton, I've been impressed, as I said earlier, De Zerbi. I think he's a big upgrade on Potter, and I wouldn't be surprised if Boehly just goes, all right, let's get rid of Potter and get his upgrade in from Brighton.
Since we're replacing everything at Chelsea from Brighton, may as well.
Do you think Boehly has the kind of ego that Roman had, where he got Mourinho back for a season and Tuchel comes back? Do you think that's even a possibility?
Personally, I would do that. That would be the decision I would make. I think Thomas Tuchel loved the club as well. He was a perfect fit for Chelsea. Yeah. You could tell he really had a great bond with the fans. But Boehly, will he do that? For me, he looks a bit more
American.
American, exactly.
And since we're on the topic of American, do you have any feelers or inkling about what the United takeover situation is?
United. I think this is going to be a tough sale, personally, because the Glazers, from what I'm seeing, are asking for huge amounts of money, £6 to £7 billion, and put that next to Liverpool, who are also for sale. They're asking for £3 to £4 billion. So Manchester United are asking for a lot larger amount, and I saw a report earlier that Glazers are actually not going to clear the debt before they leave. So they want the new owners to take on the debt.
Wow.
Horrible people.
So they're not going to clear the debt that they took to buy the club. Wow, that's insane.
Wow.
No. And they're not going to buy you players either.
Exactly.
But isn't that just a ploy to drive people away from the club and then just keep control of the club, right? Wouldn't that make sense?
Kartik, I think you might be onto something there because I think Manchester United, they've been clever. I think they put that out as a PR spin, but the club is definitely going to be for sale. It'll be imminent, but I think this could drag on for.
Yeah.
Or
I'm gonna
the other-
slip in a Liverpool question because everybody would want to know about Liverpool before Arsenal and Madrid questions get asked. What's up with Liverpool? Is it like just is there a system problem? Because this can't be the hole that Sadio Mane left. Like that can't be
And
the answer
will
to
Klopp
Liverpool.
survive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's multiple problems going on at Liverpool. Number one, they have lost the sporting director, Michael Edwards, who actually built this side. He was the key guy alongside Klopp, because Klopp's talent ID isn't the greatest in terms of transfers. It was Michael Edwards identifying the talent, the likes of Mane, Salah, Wijnaldum, there's
Why did he
Robertson.
leave?
He left. So originally the thought was he left because of his own personal reasons. But reports have come to light recently that Klopp and his assistant, Pep Linders, have asked for more power in the transfer market, more power in terms of contracts. And Edwards then might have felt he wasn't being listened to and then left. Because since then, Edwards' replacement, Julian Ward, as sporting director, is also now leaving. And the head of research at Liverpool is also leaving. So they're losing all the brain power. They're losing all the brain power from their recruitment team. And the one example was Jordan Henderson's contract. Michael Edwards, the sporting director, was firmly against giving him a 4-year contract, whereas Klopp went to the owners and went above Edwards' head and said, I want to give Henderson a new contract. And that was apparently the breaking point for Edwards, and that's why he left. And now you can see Liverpool's recruitment. And you see what Henderson's form's been horrific for the last 2 years.
So
I've also been reading something about how their recruitment has become more coach-driven than data-driven.
Yeah, exactly. So that fits into the point. So the coaches are now taking the power. Now the sporting director's left and the kind of stats people have left. Klopp and Linders, the coaching staff, are now buying players. The latest is Cody Gagpo. Cody Gagpo. He's been awful in his start at Liverpool. He doesn't fit. He's not a Firmino. He's not a false nine like Roberto Firmino was. He's not a quick winger like Sadio Mane. He's not a pure goal scorer like Mo Salah. He doesn't fit into the Liverpool Klopp system. And this is what happens when you let coaches take charge of recruitment. Neville, you saw it at Chelsea. Tuchel wanted Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Look what's happened to him already. That is one of my cardinal rules of football. Do not give transfer recruitment to the coaches. Even Azim at Manchester United, Anthony's come in. He's not been very impressive, and that's because Eric Ten Hag wanted Anthony. It wasn't based on any stats or anything like that, and he hasn't really impressed me so far. So that's true. I think.
And what about Salah? Is there a particular reason why you're seeing Salah not put in? I mean, we made a joke about it at the top of the stream where since the World Cup, Liverpool's highest goal scorer is a Leicester player. So
yes, own goals,
what's up with Salah?
I think the main problem you've got to look at is the midfield. It's affecting both ends of the pitch, the Liverpool midfield. It's affecting Mo Salah. He's not getting the supply that he once was. And it's affecting the defence. That midfield is looking awful for Liverpool these days. Henderson declined. Fabinho's declined. Naby Keita, he's too many injuries. His athleticism's completely gone. Thiago's the only real guy you can really look to in that midfield as a reliable performer. The other two slots, they're using an 18-year-old kid, Stefan Bajcetic, in midfield now. He just needs to be developed slowly. He doesn't need to be thrown in like this. And I think they made a big mistake by not refreshing that midfield department. And it's affecting someone like Mo Salah as well. It's affecting the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's not getting protection like he used to. And that also goes back to the coaching department. They have superseded what the stats guys were saying and said, we don't need midfielders. Because I was told in the summer, Klopp actually rejected the guy Wolves signed, Mateus Nunes, who is a very dynamic box-to-box midfielder who'd fit the Klopp system. And Klopp said, no, I've got enough there. Well, clearly, Jurgen, you don't have enough.
All right.
That backfired.
Tushar Kautuk.
Two things, I guess. How likely
Tushar is a gloating, reticent Arsenal fan.
Hey man, it's been 19 years, so
you deserve it after all that pain.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
So, how likely do you think is the Declan Rice thing to happen in summer, or is it dependent on Arsenal winning the title potentially?
Yeah, I've seen some reports of that. I think you guys really do like Declan Rice. I think obviously it will depend on the Thomas Partey stuff as well. We know the off the pitch stuff. Probably we don't want to comment too much on that. But it looks like you were definitely after a midfielder because you had Moises Caicedo high on the list in the January window.
I would have loved it.
He would have been class, yeah. I think Rice is still a top player. I think he defensively he will do a similar job to what Partey does. He dominates the space. He's a good aggressive ball winner. So I could see Declan Rice happening for sure. He'll play in that number 6 position. And obviously Partey as well picks up his own injuries. He's also a bit older as well. I think he's 30 now. So it would be smart from Arsenal to pick that up as pick Rice up as the eventual long-term successor. And he will start probably ahead of Partey a lot of the time as well.
That's true.
Yeah, I think with Real Madrid, where do you even begin? But do you think like we
Mbappe
just
is
got
coming.
sidetracked? This is my feeling. We got sidetracked with this whole Mbappe thing. Okay, and and we've just not cut our losses from that. And we should have just used, if we had the money to pay whatever 260 million or whatever it was that we were going to pay, why didn't we stock up and fill in the gaps in this very gap-filled squad? Like, because this whole squad is so unbelievably thin. So like, is there any insight that you have on Madrid's transfer strategy and as to why they've had such a terrible season?
Including the manager.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kautik. I think they neglected the transfer market. And as you say, they put all their eggs in the Mbappe basket.
Yeah.
And it looked like they didn't have a backup plan. They got Tchouaméni done early. Tchouaméni is a top player. He will become a world-class player, in my opinion. The forward line, though, you're right. Who you've got no real natural right winger there, and the attack looks unbalanced as a result. Everything for Real Madrid comes down the left. Yeah. Vinicius and Benzema drifting to the left. That is the main strategy. I think Real Madrid got a bit too comfortable with using Federico Valverde as a right winger, and it's not his natural role. He's a midfielder. He did well, don't get me wrong, but he's not a natural attacking threat down that right-hand flank. And Rodrigo is a player who likes to be a bit more central. Rodrigo, I think, is the closest thing we've seen to Neymar. He likes to be in between the lines, and his dribbling is phenomenal. He can dribble past anyone. He can dribble in such tight spaces. But he's more of a central player. He's not a right winger. So that is the big hole. And then your fullbacks. The fullbacks at Real Madrid are a massive issue. Ferland Mendy, he's declined hugely. Defensively, he's not solid, which he used to be. And attacking-wise, he's never been good going forwards. So what you're seeing happening is teams are just doubling up on Vinicius, tripling up on him sometimes. Because there's no threat down the right wing. There's no overlapping threat from Ferland Mendy. So you can just concentrate all the markers on the left-hand side. And the other thing is, Carlo Ancelotti, I think, in his system, doesn't, as you see at Arsenal, for example, Martin Odegaard is always there in support of Bukayo Saka to play a 1-2, to play a quick pass. And he's always got an option there. For Ancelotti, he gives the players a lot more freedom. He's a bit more of a, you guys just go out there on the pitch and express yourselves. He gives them more freedom to do what they want. And sometimes you see players isolated as a result of that. That's why I think Vinicius needs a bit more support from the midfield. But it's often Kroos just is sitting deep. And then there's a big gap between Toni Kroos and Vinicius.
Yeah, it's also an aging midfield on the left, especially. And the other, like, Mondi is obviously one culprit, but Dani Carvajal is like, it's like seeing a person pass their expiry date. It's crazy. It's just, we need to do something about that whole fullback situation. It's pretty bad.
And the mad thing is, you guys had Theo Hernandez and Ashraf Hakimi on the books, and you sold them.
Dog, I lost Ashraf Hakimi. Huh?
Yeah, and Reguilon. Yeah.
And Odegaard. We could have just won everything.
That was probably the one disadvantage of Zinedine Zidane as a coach. He didn't bring that young generation through as much as he should have. And I think Real Madrid are paying a bit.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that the culture at Madrid's always been, it's never been to like, let's incubate something. It's always been like, you have to win stuff. So if your youngsters can immediately perform, great. But if not, then, and no one wants to take that chance, I guess.
I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised that Kautuk asked a Madrid question and not a tell me how Barcelona is falling or can
Because
fall.
they aren't. That's the problem.
How
But I
is
think that's a good point. I think the big difference between Barcelona and Real Madrid is Xavi has got a very strict structure compared to Ancelotti. Gavi and Pedri are always in those half spaces. The combinations with their wingers, Dembele or Rafinha, they're always very good and well coached. Whereas the combination play at Real Madrid is effectively Vinicius and Benzema. You guys try and figure something out. And the rest of the team is often not involved as much. Or Toni Kroos, you just smash a long ball over the top and try and pull something out of the bag. And it's not as well coached at Real Madrid compared to
You're
what Xavi's doing at
absolutely
Barca.
right. Because like last season, I've always felt like if you're a comeback team, then you're clearly in the sense that you're waiting for miracles to happen rather than doing anything that with a lot of structure. So like the faults were always that was just getting papered over by incredible individuals. And now you're seeing the weight of that whole season come crashing down. It's like a caffeine high that's wearing off.
Speaking of miracles and things being papered over, Barcelona's financial lever, where do they keep getting these? And
How many levers are there? Why?
And what do they do? Are they also soon in this in this financial fair play with fictionalized communities? Because they seem to be selling Barcelona TV rights to Barcelona itself. So,
Yeah. I think the important thing to remember about clubs like Barca and Real Madrid, these guys are commercial beasts. They do generate a lot of money. But you're right with the lever stuff. I'm not too read up on the lever stuff, but they do seem to be risking a bit their long-term future and selling off percentages of this, percentages of that, like some of their intelligence even. I think they sold off a bit of their stats company that they actually own to a different company. So they are risking their long-term future, but you have to say it is working to some extent at the moment. But I would be there. I think there is a word of warning that Barcelona don't actually still have the best structure in place in the boardroom. A lot of the decisions are still being, as I said earlier, done by the manager, which I'm not a big fan of. And you're seeing some of that. For example, they spent 50 million on Ferran Torres, another 60 on Rafinha. These guys haven't really proven their worth so far.
Kessié.
So Kessié hasn't done much. So yeah, there's still some warning signs there. Like Barcelona need to sort out their structural issues at the top. Otherwise, they could be in a similar situation once again in the future. But they were under Bartomeu. But yeah, it is short term. It's working. But let's see what happens long term.
Do you think Messi is ever going to go back?
Interesting question. I think that ship might have sailed now. I think, firstly, from a tactical point of view, I wouldn't actually know where to play him now because he doesn't actually do his best stuff on the right wing anymore. As you saw for Argentina, he was good up front. But guess they've got Robert Lewandowski now. And Xavi likes playing a 4-3-3. He's a very strict 4-3-3 man. You're not going to play Messi as a midfielder, I don't think. So actually, tactically, I don't think it makes the most sense to bring Messi. Ousmane Dembele is already a very good creator off that right-hand side. So Messi, I think he will sign on for PSG, year or so maybe, and then I think he will go to America. I think he might get offered a percentage in a club of ownership like what happened to David Beckham. And long-term, that's good for him. Beckham's made millions or billions even off owning the club, and it rising in value because he's owning that Inter Miami club now as well. So I think Messi will have something else like that in mind. He seems to be a guy who enjoys his time off the pitch as well. Since that World Cup, he looks like he's had the best time of his life. Looks like the whole weight of the world's gone off his shoulders. So yeah.
Unlike Kautuk's favorite player in the whole world.
Yeah, exactly. I think the last question I'd like to ask you is any conspiracy theory as to why or how the Saudi...
I like how your question is any conspiracy theory and not
has to be something. This doesn't seem like a straightforward deal.
No, this is a simple enough thing of losing the World Cup and then going into a bar and drinking yourself silly and then signing whatever paper was put in front of you.
But where did he find this bar in Saudi Arabia? That's the logical question.
Sorry, Gautam. Go for your question.
No, I mean that was the question. Like, is there anything that's not on the surface about this deal?
About Cristiano?
Yeah, to Saudi.
Are you saying it's too much money he's been given, or?
Yeah, as in like, is there like, where I'm coming to it from is that he does this crazy interview where he explicitly says that I'm not the kind of player who wants to retire at Saudi or any of these smaller leagues, right? And then you have this World Cup where obviously whatever happens, and then he comes back. There's a little bit of gap, and then suddenly he's bang off to Saudi. Is it just that they gave him a great deal and he couldn't say no, or that no one else want to go for him, or is there anything that we're not seeing?
Yeah, if you remember, guys, last time I was on the stream, I did actually have a controversial opinion that Cristiano Ronaldo would affect the whole way Manchester United would play. I think some of your viewers were got a bit angry at that one, but I think it did prove to be true. I think you look now, Manchester United have looked better as a team without Cristiano. I think the thing with Cristiano is he's such a big character. Everything has to be focused towards trying to serve him, because that is the kind of figure he is in football history. He's a legend of the game. You're not going to supply him. And I think Manchester United are playing a lot better as a team now, and they're sharing out the goals. And Marcus Rashford has gone to a new level. But yeah, I think that it actually gives you a hint as to why other teams haven't gone for him. He isn't quite good enough anymore to be the guy you need to serve your whole team around. He doesn't have the physicality to press anymore, which means some of your defensive system then collapses completely. And I think that's why no big teams went for him. No Champions League teams went for him. And I think those two issues were why. And in the end, this was probably the best offer he had. He maybe got offered one by a Europa League team or a lower team like that, but no one in the Champions League offered him anything because of those problems. And the Saudi offer was huge, isn't it? It's basically he wouldn't have had to work again anyway, but he can live the most lavish lifestyle he wants to now. I don't really blame him for taking it, to be honest.
Doc, in fact, I've had this crazy conspiracy theory, which I want to run past you because you're actually the perfect person with football and medicine coming together.
Oh God, this again.
God, not this.
No.
We apologize.
So here's
You
the
should
thing.
leave now.
Cristiano
I'm gonna get sacked,
Ronaldo
probably.
takes 200 million, invests all of that into putting the science together to de-age a human body, comes back to play in the next World Cup. What do you think? Thoughts? How close are we?
I mean, COVID happened, so maybe Cristiano, that's the next thing. A pandemic started from a lab. Now maybe Cristiano can go to the lab and create.
Are you calling him a virus?
Many managers have.
Yeah. But maybe that is his plan all along. That was what he wanted.
Brilliant.
All right. So thank you so much. If there's any other gossip you want to give us, I'm very happy. We are very, very, very happy to take it and accept it. But
Also, your season predictions.
Yeah.
or your season prediction. Do you think?
Season prediction, yeah, I think Arsenal I think they'll win it. I think the João Cancelo deal was actually the final nail in the coffin for me. I think City have just got rid of one of their best creative players.
It made no sense.
Made no sense. I think it was purely because of the dressing room. There's a bit of friction between Pep and Cancelo, but you've lost one of your best creators. And Erling Haaland, for example, looks less threatening without someone to supply those vertical passes that Cancelo is doing. And then he benched De Bruyne as well. Aymeric Laporte, Ruben Diaz both benched. There's something not quite right about the City dressing room this season. So I think they could even slip to third. I think Manchester United look a lot more of a happy camp. Manchester United maybe in second is probably what I'd say at the moment. Casemiro has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
The difference he's made. The guy just dominates the whole middle of the pitch. He last season was the only guy who could silence Kevin De Bruyne in last season, because De Bruyne was on fire. Casemiro
Oh no.
Is it us?
rocks up at the Bernabeu and clamps De Bruyne out the game. Say that again, sorry?
Sorry, no,
Yeah,
you dropped
and I
out
think
for a second.
Now, sorry. So Casemiro's the defensive improvement Manchester United have had from him has been huge. I think Eric Ten Hag as well. Some of the passing sequences Manchester United are producing is something that we never saw under, for example, Solskjaer. That was pure counter-attack. Now, Ten Hag's got a positional system in place where players combine and players have a very close relationship with each other. I've been very impressed with that. The one probably warning sign is the Eriksen injury. Whether Marcel Sabitzer can replicate Eriksen's role He's not as technically gifted as Eriksen, but we'll see. At least Manchester United managed to get a body in. So yeah, Manchester United maybe second, City third, fourth. I think Spurs will take the top four. They've got more firepower than Chelsea up front. Their midfield isn't as broken and aging as Liverpool. And I think that means they will get the fourth ahead of both of those two teams. I think even Brighton could finish ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool.
No,
Such as how
nothing for Newcastle.
Newcastle? Newcastle?
Oh, sorry, I forgot Newcastle actually. Newcastle fifth, Brighton sixth, Chelsea seventh, Liverpool eighth.
Nice.
Wow.
Oof.
We finished above Liverpool. I thought Fulham would finish above us. But anyway, Raj, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
I know you just got home from work and you did this. So truly, thank you so much. And
No worries.
Very special. Very special. It was
we'll keep
so
bothering you,
informative.
but whenever you feel like you want to come over and you have some like exciting goss, we'd be happy to take anything.
No, you message me anytime you want, and I'll see if I can make it.
All right, that's great.
Because this time actually works out well for me. So as I come straight home, that's fine.
Okay, there you go.
Brilliant.
So everyone on Instagram, the.footy.doctor, follow him
on
and
Twitter. Yeah, Raj Singh Chauhan on Twitter as well.
and Raj Singh
Yeah.
Chauhan on Twitter. So
Yeah,
there you
and
go.
please genuinely take a screenshot, share this, get the word out. I think this was a very good stream, very fun stream.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much, guys.
Amazing.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks,
Raj.
Doc. Bye bye.
Yeah, cheers. Bye.
Isn't it weird that I'm so lucid when a guest is there? I don't fumble. I don't purposely do my Nevilisms. It's so weird. It's almost like I know football. It's weird.
Very nice.
Are you
Also,
saying it's an act? Bawa
I've
GPT
always
is an
said
act.
it's an act. I'm extremely good. I have all knowledge about Super Bowl.
I still don't know what this means. But thank you. Okay, Tushar, we'll let you go also
Yeah.
as well.
All right.
Thanks for sticking
See you,
around.
friends.
Take care.
Yes,
and
chalo.
may Arsenal lose twice to City.
Fuck you.
Thank you.
Chalo,
Chalo,
bye.
take care.
Chalo, bye.
Take care. Okay. So we have lots of super chats to read. Before that, now I did one interesting thing, and I think we need to do one stream with this, where we do ChatGPT as football manager / scout, because I got some very
Oh.
interesting insights. Because I gave ChatGPT a list of 11 Chelsea players and said, put these players into the best and most effective formation and tactical style. And it put everyone more or less where I was expecting it, except it put Mudryk at left back and Reece James at right wing. So quite interesting to see how it
This
decided to
is
do that.
Azim, this is you putting Dan James as right back.
Yeah, it's I was ahead of ChatGPT before. I was doing ChatGPT before it was GPT. Scam James. But yeah, I think we'll do one stream of this next week. We can do AI football managers. Let's see, it'll be fun. But yes, many a super chat. Fuck, kitna super chat padne ka aaj. But thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. It just means that we had
Yeah.
so much chat going on that we didn't manage to read the super chats.
Always fun when Doc comes around. I mean, like
Yeah,
the
Footy Doctor is great. Yeah, it's great insights.
general analysis goes up.
Yeah, we all have to up our game and all. Like now, I'm sleepy again.
Yeah, no, from Meher Dadi and everything.
Ankit Rama says, सच में लड़ो अंकल बोला था क्या? Great show in Hyderabad. And this is a call back from my joke. And he says, thanks for the picture in the end. It was wonderful meeting you. For to live in Hyderabad soon. सच में था या नहीं था? That I cannot tell you. These are secrets that I must take to the grave. Sean Gonzalez, our 17-month oil member, says, hey guys, good to see Bawa back. Also looking for a nice silent fan for the upcoming hot summer nights. Confused between KV, Anirban Dasgupta or Abhijit Ganguly. Nice. Well copied the format. Huh? This was shared on our group as well. Prem B. Raj says, start bench sell. Check Schmeichel Casillas. Oof, tasty.
Check Schmeichel Casillas. Holy fuck.
Start Schmeichel, bench check, sell Casillas.
I would start Casillas, bench Schmeichel, sell check.
Bawa will say
start
start check, obviously.
Of course. Start check. bench Michael, sell Casillas.
Fair.
Few
Good.
people have
Nice
sold
question.
Casillas.
हैदराबादी हार्टेटा says अस्सलाम वालेकुम मियाँ लोग, और सैटरडे को उदास था और संडे के दिन दुश्मन ने बचा लिया, पर मंडे कोर्ट ने और खुशी दिया. होपफुली सिटी का तेल निकाल दे और मेरे हारने की खुशी में -100 टू कोट्स.
Approved.
Done.
अरे अरे
Seconded.
Arey, we have to talk about this thing league, where Bawa has been doing brazen FFP manipulation.
full like Saudi
There was
group.
one clearly. it was-
Brazen
Abu Dhabi United
lack
group.
of rules, as flouting of rules has been done by Bawa. -5 has been given. Abhishek Verma says, Bawa, how does it feel to upgrade from J5 to E5? और ये माउंट काय एंड गल्लू भाई को गोली मारना चाहिए. Smoking cigars, watching City get charged. How does it feel, J5 to E5? Good, bad, ugly?
So far, I don't know. I think the one thing I do like about Enzo is that
E5, Bawa, E5.
what I do like about Enzo is that he doesn't have the always passing back problem. He also doesn't have the lateral passing problem. What I also liked about, but this I can't fault J5 for. So, but it just seems like he works really hard to get the ball back.
Who? J5 or E5?
E5. But J5 also used to. So that's what I'm saying. I can't fault J5 for that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Okay, chalo. Well, for 120 million, you should. Hindenburg का intern says, अगला किसका शॉट करना है, चेल्सी या सिटी? भाई तू कर ले, दोनों साथ में चालू कर दे.
City.
नाना मोरिनियो पार्टिकर says, ए बेपलिया, मटिल्ड शोरूम में वॉचमैन का जॉब करेगा क्या? लंच में आलू टिक्की टाका भी मिलेगा. Let me know because end of season Conte wants to apply.
Lunch. I love how it is
Aloo
tiki taka.
Yes. But isn't it funny how when Conte is not available, now Spurs start winning? It's almost a sign. But what a record they have at like Spurs against City. It was insane that City have not scored against Spurs in 5 visits to their stadium. They have a XG of 9.2 or something like that and have not scored one goal out of it in 5 games. It's absurd. That is definition
way,
of bogey club.
One thought on Haaland that I had yesterday while watching the game was that Haaland is an extremely good like poacher in the box, but I feel like there's still like free kicks. There's still surprisingly more headers can be done considering height. Like there's a whole bunch of like for example, long range goals.
Yeah.
Like there was an opportunity to score and then he's passing it to Grealish or someone like that. And like all of these things is
yeah,
what
I mean,
added
also
to the-
like for him to work, you have to start De Bruyne. Why are you going into any game where you're playing 4-4-2 because he's properly just outpepped himself? No, what was working when he was playing simple 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, whatever it is, where you've got your Rodri sitting there, you've got Gundogan, you got De Bruyne or Bernardo interchangeable, you got Haaland up top, you got Grealish on the left, you got Mahrez on the right. ये तेरे क्यों change करके? Just because Alvarez won the World Cup doesn't mean you have to start him. Let him be the substitute, no? It's so stupid, but good. Let him do all this. Excellent.
outpepped himself.
He's outpepped himself, dude.
Pep का सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन Pep खुद ही.
It's true. Mir Joshi says for Bawa GPT, explain difference between Quagliarella and Kvaratskhelia.
Just attempt those names, though, please.
Quagliarella and Kvaratskhelia.
Oh God, we've reached that part of the night again.
It's Kvaratskhelia. Come on.
Kvaratskhelia.
अरे Kvaratskhelia. मी काय नाही केलं. Kvaratskhelia.
Very good. Sachin Deo, our Oil Money member for 16 months. He says, Casemiro में आया एरिक का भूत, रेफरी की माँ की डैश. We know what he's saying. यूनाइटेड को ऐसे रेफरी क्यों मिलते हैं? सिटी मैच के बाद पनौती लग गई है. As we said, yeah, this is just revenge now that these referees are taking because one decision we got. फ्रॉड बोली says बाबा सुन मेरे पास 3 बच्चे हैं तू बस बोल किसको चाहिए मैं अभी 20 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना दूंगा जब तू बोला फिर जॉर्जिनो को निकल दिया hashtag बाबा सिम्प it's true man Baba is running the things behind the scene Baba is technical director of Chelsea
Shukran.
Anirudh Pachapur, again, Oil Money member for 7 months. He says, with Pep's comments about City situation, Chelsea should definitely sign him. Man likes clubs that spend and bully shops like players in flea market. Yeah, dude. But it'll be interesting. I wish. Yeah. Okay, should we just do a quick prediction for the prediction league?
Huh.
What is outcome of City trial? A, nothing happens.
Oh.
B, points dock. C, expulsion from league.
And if you get it wrong, you get points, doc.
Yeah, and if said City are expelled from league, then you are expelled from league.
No. But then what is the incentive?
Yeah, that's fair point.
No, I'm saying like if you get your prediction wrong, so if you get it right, you should get like plus 2,000 or something. If you get it wrong, then
Expulsion from league. Just all three of us expelled from league on final day. Yeah, but let's see. Ayush figure out some system. Pratiti says controversial, but Muller is greatest Bayern player of modern era. He has been the backbone of our club, and until UCL win, hashtag Nagelsmann out backroom stuff. अरे तुम लोग अभी भी फर्स्ट में बैठा है ना बुंडेसलीगा टेबल प्रतीति just comes here to get कौन है टॉप बायर्न अच्छे प्यार से फर्स्ट प्लेस में बैठा है with one game in one point lead.
Yeah.
First world problems this Pratiti comes with. Little Strummer Boy says हर साल पैसा झाड़ा किस बात का है चौड़ टकलू के पजामे का खींच गया नाड़ा देखो मैन सिटी का फ्रॉड वाह 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 ब्यूटीफुल ब्यूटीफुल हल्लू भाई से सल्लू और हल्लू पे कभी चार्जेस स्टिक नहीं करते
And just basis this, I decide that कुछ नहीं होने वाला है.
Okay, so कुछ नहीं होने वाला है plus forward to minus forward to simple if you are right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I am saying points deduction. Bao, what are you saying?
Expulsion. Go for it, Baba. Just go for it. Don't think twice. Just do the right thing.
I'm saying points reduction and transfer ban.
Okay,
Okay,
chalo,
third
whatever we have chosen then. Fine. Sidhu says he's a 12-month member. He says very Chelsea transfer window summarized. ये सब ठीक है, but goal कौन मारेगा?
Correct.
True. Man United का Undertaker Casemiro says कैसा लगा अपना choke slam? Arsenal and City को भी choke slam मिला. Also adding fact, German club Wolfsburg FC once had a coach called Wolfgang Wolf. That is the best. Why has he not come to Wolverhampton Wanderers yet?
Wolfgang Wolf who works for what Wolfsburg.
Great, beautiful one, Casemiro ji. Marcus Misford says मेरे goals pool और Chelsea से ज़्यादा है in 2023. That's right, he's not Misford anymore. Very good. Then we have thank you to Ramanathan who just gave 100 rupees. Rohit Kale, Oil Money member, 17 months. He says Eric Ten Hag on Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. In this moment, I admire them. Eh? They play really fantastic football, but you can see always that the era can come to an end. He actually said this.
But Azim, you missed a few. Huh?
Yeah, you can say always the era can come to an end. Pritesh Narkar says D Fofana looks good. No need to. Hope team gels soon. Dude, at this point, I genuinely don't know who Chelsea has anymore.
No one knows.
No one knows. अपना वीडियो किंग एरिक says राशि फिर किया एक गोल अपने नाम जीत की राह दिखाती ये शाम मैनचेस्टर के अमर फूलों के नाम आरवी बच्चा लोग बाबा और फ्लावर्स ऑफ मैनचेस्टर यस फ्लावर्स ऑफ मैनचेस्टर एज वेल बसबी बेब्स सॉरी बसबी बेब्स नहीं फ्लावर्स ऑफ मैनचेस्टर बसबी बेब्स बाद में आया रामनाथन नीलकांतन अगेन आई थिंक दिस वाज द कमेंट ही वांटेड टू मेक इज अ ग्रेट शो yesterday मिस्टर डॉपलगैंगर यस डोंट गिव स्पॉयलर्स टू जोक्स यार thank you so much HN says कोई ओजिल का स्टोरी बताओ, उसका कौन काटा in Turkey? Fair point. What happened to him in Turkey? That's an interesting. Kautuk, this is Ozil story next week हो जाए.
Oh, this story. Okay. I had one story for next week, which like I think it's a even crazier one. So then I'll do Ozil after
Which
that.
are crazier Scalia. All right. Okay. Ashwin says breaking. UEFA say they will not strip Manchester City of their Champions League titles. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. अपना वीडियो किंग एरिक says फुटबॉल फ्रॉड ओनर्स का मेला मेले में ये किंग अकेला एक बिट ढूंढता हूं मैं अपने ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड के
Come on, this song you know,
आई
yaar.
डोंट नो यार
Arey, this
Sing
is a
it.
Bobby Deol song. yaar.
हाँ
This is
एग्जैक्टली
दुनिया-
आई डोंट नो व्हाट हु
Arey,
बॉबी
this
देओल
is
इज
दुनिया हसीनों का मेला.
अरे मैं
मेले
देखा
में
नहीं
ये-
है मूवी आई वाज वाचिंग लायन किंग एंड ऑल बाबा ग्रोइंग अप अलादीन ऑल दिस
तू
आई वाज
फिलिप्स टॉप 10 नहीं देखा है क्या?
फिलिप्स टॉप 10 क्या बल्ब्स का लिस्ट है क्या
No, but Azim, like you didn't have the radio on in the car.
नो वी हैड कैसेट
Fuck
So I
you,
know
like-
only the songs that were playing on dad's cassette. ऐसे बॉम्बे का
Yes,
full
yes.
album कहना ही क्या all that I know.
Nice.
I know all the every miscellaneous thing that Remo Fernandez has ever said. Shagada
By
bagada
the
bagada
way-
hey.
By the way, so a lot of people say that we are South Bombay snobs. I would like to clarify, we are suburban snobs.
Yes. So tell us the song, Baba. What is the song?
Arey, it is that what are the lyrics you
फुटबॉल
got?
फ्रॉड ओनर्स का मेला मेले में ये किंग अकेला एक बिट ढूंढता हूँ मैं अपने ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड के लिए.
फुटबॉल फ्रॉड ओनर्स का मेला.
मेला.
टन 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 मेले में ये दिल अकेला. That's how the song.
Tang tang tang. Ek what? What is the next thing?
दोस्त
No. What is
ढूंढता
what is
हूँ
it?
मैं. I don't
what
So
know.
is the
then you
comment,
should
sir?
be saying Terratent Hag. And then एक बिट ढूंढता हूँ मैं अपने ओल्ड
एक
ट्रैफर्ड के लिए.
बिड ढूंढता हूँ मैं. What is the last one?
ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड के लिए.
Old Trafford
Trafford
के
के
लिए.
लिए.
Okay, very nice, great. See, this is what we are doing to get commercial mass appeal into this football show, getting Bollywood references. Aditya Raju said, United players who have got red cards versus Palace have gone on to become legends. Cantona,
Yeah.
Roy Keane, and now Casemiro. Nice.
Come
one.
on.
Nice.
Arey,
nice.
you can't put Cantona and Roy Keane red card against Crystal Palace. They've had a red card against every team, no? But
But they've also had against Crystal Palace now. Cantona has gone and drop kicked the person, no, and got banned.
Was that
Gee.
against Crystal?
I think it was against Crystal Palace, if I'm not wrong. I am Indian Engineer says, will Pep quit and manage Spain? Also, Kane for 300 on. I hope you mean 300 goals and not $300 million bid. But yes. Aman Royala says, bro, ये Perez कब से इतना चिंदी हो गया? How can he
अरे
possibly
yes.
look at this squad and not sign anyone? But Madridismo for the win and Barca can SMD. Okay, SMD indeed. Uchka Gupta says, मैं Liverpool fan हूँ, मारो मुझे मारो, please मारो, Yanwa. It's sad to Yanwa after the torture. Great. Deva Kumar says, Todd Bowley is another Roman, but in a structure way. CFC owners to senior journalists, we are just getting started. And guys, how many seasons Enzo have to perform to justify his price tag? How many seasons, Baba, he has to be top level, amazing player to justify?
8.5.
Okay, great. That was easy.
Yeah, no.
Okay. करिश्मा कैसेडे इतना साइनिंग्स के बाद भी ड्रॉ ही कराना था तो मुझे लोन पे क्यों भेजा मुझे घर
the way-
जाना है मुझे भूल जाना है मुझे भूल ही गए सब करिश्मा कैसेडे
But no. So by the way, Baba,
This is also a song.
no, this is not.
no this
So-
is not
What is the lyrics? What did the thing say?
no this is not a song
It's not a song. So Baba, Karishma Cassidy is a play, is a Baba GPT output of Cesare Cassidy,
oh
who you called Kersey Cassidy at some point in the last stream.
oh god this universe is getting hard to manage man Karan Shah says, भाई Mark Goldbridge को लाओ guest show के लिए. अरे लाया एक बार. Now Mark Goldbridge and me are on frosty terms. Apparently he quoted my tweet in his stream about the swimming pool thing that I said to him. Aditya Desai says, even if City get docked 15 points, they'll be above Chelsea. Well,
Yeah.
fair point.
Oof.
Suki Kandoja says, Lisandro Martinez best centre back in Premier League. Thoughts?
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean,
Would you go
I
that
would
far?
say he's probably in the top 5 right now.
Yeah.
Probably top 5. Of Dyson Men says, which is worse, VAR or Mankading? Baba, please tell us. Probably VAR at this point. It's true, man. VAR is shit. Amrit Verma says Todd Bully tried to hijack Jorginho, move to Arsenal. Big fan of Tiss and 442. Love these streams. Thank you. Hashtag Koig. Thank you, Amrit Verma.
Koig indeed.
Koig indeed. Haris Mohammed says, Kautuk, it was surreal watching Real Madrid try to stage a comeback with Mariano up front. Feel for you, man. Thoughts on Real Madrid versus Liverpool? ये तो अच्छा in
Bro,
Champions League.
Ek to bhai, I don't know why Mariano Diaz has got a hairstyle that looks exactly like a character from Star Wars. He's got these fucking, he's got these two cornrows, just
Who's
too big, bulbous.
Jar Jar Binks.
No, not Jar Jar. It's fuck, man. It's just bizarre. Anyway, the point is, Liverpool. It's surprisingly, it's the battle of the thin squads.
Yeah. It'll be
And,
fun actually.
At this point, I would say, I think Madrid, oddly enough, still have the advantage because at least like with everything else, when our strikers fire, they fire well, and our defense, Kamavinga is like, I mean, we need reinforcement, but I think we can hold on. I think we still have the edge, is what I think, based on current form. Who knows? It could all change.
Fair. Haris Mohammed says Kautuk का ये हो गया. Pratiti says Isco is gross salary, net salary confusion. Oh, okay, that's what it was. Where he was like after tax, before tax type situation. That's why it was cancelled.
Come on.
यार इसको मिल रहा है तेरे को probable Bundesliga title है Union Berlin के साथ फिर भी उसको भी जाना पड़ेगा. Now you'll have to go to Al Nassr. Aditya Matkar says Mudrik out with cold. What can Potter do to get ZX trust? Till now, Baba's predictions for the Hallu season and J5 has been right. United for top 2 by that logic. That though we have established. What is Mudrik out with cold? He actually had a cold, or what?
I don't know. Must be London में ठंडी है ना.
Fair. But वो Ukraine से आया है ना बाबा. He's come from literal bomb shelter. Underground minus 17
बॉम्ब से
degrees.
गर्मी होता है ना थोड़ा बॉडी ऐसा फायर वायर में.
Okay, fair. All right. Sabyasachi Roy says, I just want to thank you guys catching you live after long. Finally got through college last year. Coincidentally, my roll number is 442. Wow. Shabash. And congrats on graduation. Superb.
Yeah, but
Shaunak says, this year Bundesliga looks competitive after 19 matches. Union Berlin just 1 point behind Bayern and 6 team in league just 6 points behind Bayern. Good now. Even this Italian league top 4 battle is very tasty. Roma sitting in 3rd right now.
yeah.
So very, very good. Aditya Madhuri. Bolo.
No, I was just going to say that someone should look into like how did Union Berlin and Freiburg suddenly become contenders?
I
Where
think
did
it's
they
also
come from?
part of what Pratiti keeps complaining about is that Bayern aren't all that this season.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because
Union Berlin
halfway through a
has
season,
never been anything. So
that is
where
also
did
true.
this happen?
It
Like
is
it's
a
crazy.
union of sorts. Because halfway through a season, you would expect Bayern to have more than 40 points.
Yeah.
Aditya Madhuri says, apparently Haaland and Pep are in dispute. Has Haaland made City a less cohesive team? He doesn't participate in build-up. More productive Ronaldo. Now that is a conspiracy and a half.
But you know, like I've been listening to a lot of the Pep post-match conferences, and he's always asked the same question: and has Haaland made the team worse? From a Haaland perspective, 31 goals from 28 games is amazing. Like it's spectacular. So you can't like really say that he's at fault. And what Pep has also been saying consistently is, I need to figure out how this works.
Yeah.
And he's traditionally never done well with strikers.
Transition team. No, that's what I'd said na at the beginning. Like he always has this thing of कैसा वो सांड striker के साथ उसको एक season लगता है समझने को कि कैसा क्या करने का है उसके साथ. Because he's the and I think the telling thing is that against the chota mota teams they manage, but when they go against the big teams, that's when like Haaland gives you no real output. Like, yes, he scored goals against United, but United themselves were figuring out how to play football in that match, in that 6-3. So, yeah, it will take him some time. Hopefully by then City are docked 25 points. उस्ताद फरहान टोरेस says यूरोप ना मिले तो कोई गम नहीं है, ला लीगा अब हमारा है. सॉरी उस्ताद फरहान, यूरोप ना मिले तो गम नहीं, कोई गम नहीं है, ला लीगा अब हमारा है, कोतिया जाके कह दो ला लीगा वालों से, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो ना हो, गावी हमेशा हमारा है. Oh yeah, बेचारा गावी doesn't have his new contract. So sad. They have to sell another TV channel.
How long will they exploit these Pedri Gavis and all? Like, meaning on keeping them on these.
It's the same thing that they used that Raj was talking about ना for Mancini. वो लोग offshore account से दे रहा है गावी पेड्री को.
ये भी है. Sodexo coupon में.
Yes. 17 million Sodexo coupon for the year.
It's not just that ना, वरना वो भी देता रहेगा ना reimbursement.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, have you been following this Gerard Piqué league or what? And what wild rules he has?
We spoke about it.
You've seen the rules and all they have, what?
Yeah, we spoke about those.
No, but you saw the other rules.
Oh, other rules.
No, they're like they've combined football and trump cards. कि तू ऐसा the
red card, flip, Uno, सब.
हाँ नहीं, but they have this thing of like you draw a card and if you have it, you just instant penalty. They can have a rob cards where if you play instant penalty, they can rob your instant penalty and take the penalty for yourself.
ये बात किया था last week की बात किया था.
Bizarre it is, dude. But good fun.
Shakira got the better end of the deal, I feel.
Listen, he's got Casio to sponsor. Okay, it's over. Anirudh Varang says, "Ye keta bhen ka loda." That's all he's saying. That's all he's doing to say. After 15 months of membership, he's used this just to say, "Ye keta bhen ka loda."
Love it.
Kautuk Azim, by the way, this is something that's available on
Rice.
On
क्या
Amazon.
होता है
Amazon.
इससे क्या होता है?
It is
savory, sweet.
It's unbelievable. It's salty, it's sweet, and it's a rice cracker. Dude, I'm addicted. It is too good.
It's okay. We are not shooting an ad right now. It's okay.
No, I'm not. I
Sugar,
don't plug
spice,
anything.
and everything nice. Is it a Powerpuff Girl, Baba, that you are eating?
No.
Very nice. Apna Bidu King Eric says, history gawah hai. Liverpool fans, it is always scary when a German goes for total control. Oh. Beautiful. Arif Rushank Upadhyay has given 1,800 rupees. He says, I have been a fan of 442 community since day one. I recently procured a job overseas and will be moving to Munich next week. You guys have been support system during turbulent times. Hats off. Shabash. Rushank, well done and congratulations on your new job.
Congratulations.
Very
and congratulations on the Bundesliga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lavnesh Talreja says, hey, Azim, saw your EIC Chutkule show last week with my parents. Oh, you were in the front row. Yes, thanks for the entertainment. Thank you for coming. Ayush Vedkar has been a member for 16 months and sends this message. He says, for us Arsenal fans, autumn comes after winter and winter has passed. ये क्या है? कौन से drugs मार के आए हो आयुष?
अरे he is basically saying अभी हम लोग का downfall शुरू as
Okay,
the
like,
autumn
अच्छा,
leaves
like
fall.
Okay, like this. Okay. Vishal Mandovara says City is going to be in a lot of trouble. Koig, dope all the way. Koig indeed. It would be damn good fun. Yaar. If this City gets expelled from the league, na, मैं legit take party. I'll throw a party at Habitat for all 442 fans.
But the thing is, Azim, like I genuinely thought at the start of last season कि जाएगा अपना बारसा भी.
नहीं, Barca is the definition of too big to fail. You know, there is too much fan base of Barcelona. तू सिटी को हका लेगा तो ऐसा 4 लोग दुबई में सैड रहेगा. It's I don't think.
And now Al Nassr is there, so they're not.
Yeah, they've got Al Nassr over there. To soften the blow. It's okay. मैं सच में, if City gets expelled from the league, मैं Habitat above the Habitat book करके मैं पार्टी रखेगा पूरा 442 community.
Fair, live stream करेंगे.
Yes. उसका बेसिक टिकट प्राइस में रखेगा टू कवर हर रेंटल, बट बाकी यस. Akash Vora says, joined late. Did you talk about the Casemiro red card and all the City allegations? We have when we spoke about it with Raj
In
Chauhan.
depth. In depth.
And also very happy with United playing good football. This is true. This is good football, and what Raj said was correct. And I was actually going to interject and say that, you know, even during Ferguson time, we have not played this nice controlled passing, 14 passes wala move football. It was so nice to watch. Yaar. So nice.
Yeah.
Very,
Also
very nice.
एक like ठोक दीजिए please, अगर आप देख रहे हैं at 12:47 in the night, we
Yes.
still have 2084 people watching. That's
क्या बात है,
crazy.
क्या बात है. And if any of you 2084 people are in Singapore or have friends who are in Singapore, next week मैं और बाबा 15th Feb को आ रहे. Link is in my bio on Instagram. बाबा के bio में भी रहेगा शायद से. बाबा के story में है. So
Bio में
please,
डाल दो.
yeah, it's masala15feb.ptix.com. Wait, well, let me
क्या
just put
बात है,
the
मसाला.
link. Masala, because it's comedy masala. And सबसे worst वाहियात poster of all time they have made. I'm getting Jay to design a new one, but I will put it in chat. Singapore show. If you are in Singapore, if you know anybody in Singapore, please उनको भेज दो यार. Stone Eagle says, sorry if it was already discussed, but who are you guys captaining in the double game week next week? Hallu triple captain, members league on the line, so
Yes.
काफी crucial. Yeah, I wish I had done Rashford triple captain this week, yaar.
Guess who has done that?
You.
Rashford is not stopping, dude.
Yeah.
Guys, just wait till this next game is over, then we can do this.
Arey,
please.
Haaland is getting expelled from the league. Kautuk, 0 goals. 0 goals at the end of the season. You wait. Pole dance तो अभी तू करने वाला है.
No, so I trip captain Rashford this week, so let's hope this works out. Because
Triple-
everyone's going to trip captain Haaland next week, so
Why?
हाँ.
What is next week?
double game week, no?
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा.
No, now he'll come back and score. I will triple captain next week. मैं तो change भी नहीं किया. I forgot
Can't
to
wait
make
for
a
Kautuk to
substitution.
now make a change in his team where he triple captains Haaland.
I have forgotten the password.
Hilarious. This is also what Klopp is saying about Liverpool right now. It's like how to
I
do.
have forgotten the cheat code.
Yeah. Sai Krishna says, Halu Bhai didn't have a single touch in Everton box yesterday. Goal drought aa gaya kya? Also, Lisandro against Palace was unbelievable. He was very good against Palace. Good boy, he was good boy. Mayur Madibalar says, any of you know Harshvardhan Kapoor personally? He's a big Man United fan. All his latest tweets are about Premier League. Would love to see him in the pod.
We could reach out. We've
could
had him
see.
once on the podcast. On
Acha?
yeah,
Chalo.
a while back.
Let's see. Excrosis RB69 says, Kotya, kya kare ye club ka? Hashtag depressed Madrid fan.
Bro, I have.
क्या तुम लोग रो रहे 13-14 चैंपियंस लीग के बाद चुप बैठना 10 मिनट बेंच रो तू
Bawa, for us, and I think the blow is easier to take because we won Champions League and league. But this season, I'm written it off. Now we'll just get through the season, watch, time pass mein, enjoy. Like what
So
Azim
sad
did
this
last
life
season.
must be, no? To finish second.
Yeah.
Comfortably get UEFA
Bro, and
Champions
with,
League.
by the way, with this squad and everything, we still Nikalo games against Atletico and
अरे तुम लोग
everybody
फिर
else.
भी एक टोकन चैंपियंस लीग जीत के चले जाएंगे तुम लोग.
एक वर्ल्ड क्लब कप तो आ ही जाएगा होपफुली.
If
ब्रो
you all don't
ग्रैम
win
पॉटर
that,
अगर
that'll be a
चैंपियंस
problem.
लीग जीत गया तो क्या होएगा भाई
मजा आ जाएगा.
अरे universe will explode, Baha, if that happens.
Rodrigo hat trick last minute every time. Come on.
Uh, okay, little Strummer boy says Junglex 2 पता चला है सऊदी सिटी में फ्रॉड खेला है.
अरे जंगल पता चला है
Oh, then why would you say Junglex 2? Just say jungle.
अरे जंगल into 2
That I know, but just then type what is this laziness? Oh, I think because he has to fit it into number of words for amount. Okay, well
so
played.
what is it
Strong.
जंगल
पता चला है सऊदी सिटी में फ्रॉड खेला है. Jungle. Wasn't this the Mowgli wala song? Okay, chala,
जंगल पता चला
chala,
है
at least I know this.
lyrics by Gulzar by the way
Yes. Oh, really? Fascinating. He also had to do shady work on early in his career. Pritam De Silva says City exploit the Kitty FA committee not showing. Kitty exploit the this limerick he has sent. City exploit the Kitty FA committee not showing pity. All right, great.
Nice.
Thank you for this tongue
Very
twister.
nice.
Ehsan Khan says, please bring Yunus Talks Football to your stream someday. What is Yunus Kabul ने channel चालू कर दिया है क्या?
Waqar Yunus.
Kabul, not heard that in a long time.
Or Waqar Yunus, but we'll check it out. General Shah says Arteta should also be punished by association. Just random. Arteta.
No, I think this was when
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
So I think, as I said, 8-point dock for Arsenal and 28 points for City. I think it would be very good.
Fair.
11 points bhi kar lo Arsenal ke liye, just for little buffer, no problem.
And Haaland has to be sent out to Madrid.
On loan, yeah. Fair, easy.
Bro,
I can't. If Kautuk, the problem is if Kautuk was actually on this Premier League managing committee, no, he would have actually suggested this.
yeah.
That's the sad part. Like, I don't
No
think-
objectivity. Fuck that. ETB79 Shyam Menon says Kautuk season going so good. Messi winning World Cup, killing it with PSG, Barca on top and playing good, and Baba
Hugging in Al Nassr and finished. You didn't read the last two words. And finished. And finished, Kautuk. And finished.
Yaar.
Zoom into that face. Zoom. And
Yaar.
finished. How nice it feels now. Chalo. Ashutosh says, किसने बोला ये फिनिश क्लब है? किसी ने बोला ये एमेच्योर मैनेजर है? बता दो सबको उनका बाप आया है. जंगल में नया शेर आया है. Hashtag eras come to an end. That's right. Ten Hag in the house.
Eras come to an end.
Vizushmai Barua says, used to be a kindergarten teacher and my students used to bring those rice cakes Baba is having, and I completely agree, Baba. Come on, you swerves, one but dilemma. Interesting. Chalo,
One sec, did you steal food from your students?
what self-respecting teacher would not?
Because the way he said it, I was a
अरे
kindergarten kid,
टीचर्स
so
को
he-
कौन सा आजकल के जमाने में अच्छा पैसा मिलता है यार बाबा दे यू हैव टू स्टील टू सर्वाइव एक्चुअली नो
Dude,
व्हाई
I've
एम आई
had 4
कोटिंग एज
packets.
ब्रिटिश टीचर प्रॉब्लम्स
I've had 4 packets, yeah. It's ridiculous.
ओके ये मंगाना पड़ेगा यार एक्चुअली शिट Gaurav Bakliwal says Chelsea reportedly keeping tabs on Luis Enrique. Oh,
Who kept tab?
Chelsea on Luis Enrique. अरे वो आके पहले ही
Good
हफ्ते
fit.
में ट्विच पे सारा टैक्टिक रिवील कर देगा तो फिर क्या
Good
करेगा?
fit. Yeah, I like this. This would be
Why?
great. अरे अपने को सब like at least we'll get a you know what dude if he becomes na let's send him a request to come on this stream. तो इधर ही कर लेना एक.
अरे we'll just call Lucky Ali instead यार it's the same thing. We'll just say Suno. Malone has been oil money member for 12 months. He says बाबा 1 dozen players मिलेंगे थोड़ा midfielders ज्यादा चाहिए. Hashtag Yanwa.
No, thank you.
Okay. Pratiti says Freiburg hashtag 100% fan owned proves 50+1 works. 50+1 works. I don't think there is any denying.
No, I would in fact argue that 50+1 works within the Bundesliga, but I think
only in
it's-
Bundesliga.
yeah, to be competitive outside it, it's very difficult.
But that's the thing, na 50+1 works if everybody is 50+1.
Yeah.
Anshuman Kumar said thoughts on Greenwood. यार Greenwood का पता नहीं क्या बोल सकते हैं because the court has dropped charges. They have not said at any point कि innocent है and United have said they'll deal with it internally. So it's a conflict on two levels. A, you don't know what the truth of the matter is. B, also it is a very young boy and how long do you how indefinitely do you end his career? So it's one of those which is not a great situation for United to manage, but hopefully it works out eventually for everybody involved. Sidhu says Chelsea gave AB Bachchan a shout out. This is Baby Bachchan, I'm assuming. He's been a big. You've done stuff with him also, no, for Chelsea, Baba?
Yeah.
And Supan Amrapali Vishwanath
No,
says
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, Abhishek. I did it with Arjun.
Acha Arjun, हाँ. But yeah, Baba was supposed to predict Haaland goals. Are we dosto? You're supposed to predict Haaland goals. When
Yeah. No, no, no.
Zero.
Ba, like, so what is he going to end his tally at? End of season. 42. 51.
All
Late 30s,
competitions.
late 30s, early 40s.
All competition.
Late 30s, early 40s.
He's at 31 right now, Baba.
Late 30s, early 40s.
Okay,
So
and what are the
last
stakes
number?
here?
Last number?
47.
That's not early 40s.
Early 40s. तो नहीं है.
I'm in my early 40s, so I'm assuming 47 is also early 40s.
This is very bad.
Okay, what is at stake? Great question.
There's nothing at stake. This is just
Nothing at
face.
This is, yeah, just reputation.
Okay, fine.
And pole dance at the end of 60 goals.
I think you remember na, my other United, Barcelona, everything else that's coming right, you're not
That's-
appreciating.
That's different, yeah.
Okay, fine. And Pritham De Silva says City to donate 2 players each to all EPL teams.
I love it. Great
यही
idea.
हो जाएगा.
Bro, एक मीम मैंने कुछ तो किधर तो अभी देखा है, ट्विटर या किसी ने भेजा है. I'm so sorry if someone has sent it to me and I've seen it. I'm so sorry about not crediting you on this. But बहुत funny है. एक फोटो है ये बोली का स्टेडियम में और वो फोन पे और वो बोल रहा है कि Todd Bowley calling FA to say he will buy Chelsea's Manchester City's points.
अरे यार ये फिर से मैं मेरा पासवर्ड भूल गया. चलो बाबा प्रेडिक्ट्स हो जाए.
क्या प्रेडिक्स हो गया ना, ये तो डबल गेम वीक है ना.
हैं? तो बाकी का मैचेस भी तो है.
हैं?
बाकी के मैचेस भी तो है. डबल
अच्छा,
गेम वीक
चलो.
वाले.
I thought we did the whole, no?
Ridishmoy Barua says, I didn't steal, but my students offered.
Okay.
The rice owes.
That also
the
Okay.
happens.
All right, let's go. United versus Leeds.
Leeds.
United.
Dead cat bounce.
United. West Ham Chelsea.
West Ham.
Oh.
Captain. Wager all points. Fuck it.
Chelsea.
Let's go.
Okay, draw for me, draw.
Okay, wait. Let me
Wager
just...
all points.
Dude, last
all
time
points.
also you wagered all points, 1706, and you got 3412.
Come on. So then I will do
So
half this
currently,
time.
the scoreline among the three of us is Azim Banatwala at 11 points, Neville Shah at -1 points. Thanks to your cheating, I would have been at 4, but thanks to your cheating and -1, you are at 3432. When you have borrowed points from someone who gave money and told you to make it 0, you keep doing this crap.
I am wagering all points again. Baba, let's go. West Ham.
Wait, what is the current score lines, Baba?
11 -1. Oh, sorry. That was only last game week. The total scoreline is 1651 for Azim Banatwala.
हाँ मेरा कम कैसे हो गया? मैं कुछ वेजर किया क्या?
तेरा एक -47 था और एक -43 था, बट तेरा 11 पॉइंट मिला.
Why ऐसा माइनस क्यों आ रहा है?
वो दिन तेरा -47 और -43 किसी और के लिए रहेगा. This is game week 20 and game week 21.
What have I done to deserve this?
I don't remember, but we'll find out.
Okay, some wager only.
One was a wager.
Yeah, okay.
Wager. Both were wagers.
Then Baba on how many points?
15-16.
15-16. Baba's also lost points. And Kautuk on how much?
5-1-3-8.
What is this nonsense?
Okay. West Ham, Chelsea, West Ham. You have said draw. Fulham, Nottingham.
Fully.
wager? Wait 1 second, sorry guys. Should I just wager how many of the points it takes to go to 1,500?
What?
Because
Whatever you feel like, man.
okay, done. So I will wager some whatever is 3,000 something points. Whatever it takes to get to 1,500.
Okay, Fulham, Nottingham.
Fulham Nottingham मैं बोल दिया Fulham.
Draw.
Fulham.
Leicester Spurs.
Leicester.
Spuddy buddies.
Spuddies. Arsenal Brentford. Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Sorry, what
No.
was it? Arsenal, Brentford.
Hmm.
Draw.
Prashwal says Navas hai Forest mein.
Palace Brighton.
Brights.
Palace.
Vieira.
Actually, draw. I wish draw.
Saints Wolves.
Wolves.
Wolves. Bournemouth Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah, but this is how former club, no?
Leeds
Yeah,
United versus Manchester United.
Again, United.
Leeds.
This is United away, huh? So
Yeah.
United. Okay, I'll come to the. Okay, Liverpool Everton Derby day.
Schondijk
You know what?
Masterclass.
Everton, yeah. Everton and Club Sack.
Everton. Prison Leopards versus Green Buffaloes.
Leopards.
No, just because new animal is introduced. Green buffaloes. Love it.
I think it's
Green
a draw.
buffaloes.
I think they're
Green
too green,
buffaloes.
these buffaloes.
I think it's a draw.
Prison leopards are hardened.
Oh fuck, this is too good. Love it.
Then
Just looking at Barca Femini. Oh, Kautuk also got Barca Femini right.
what
He said
what did he get?
7 goals.
Fuck, ये क्या हो रहा है कौतुक के साथ? But financial fair play catches up with everyone.
Alaves versus Barca Femini.
Barca Femini to score 5.
Nine.
4.
Is that it?
Al Wahda versus Al Nasser.
Ba.
Al Nasser to win, but Baba no score.
Ariska again.
This is Al.
Uska
This
red
is
card,
Al.
how?
Al Nasser.
Yeah.
Al Nasser.
Al Nassr. Baba score line 3-2.
You can't predict scoreline on Kachra game. You have to put scoreline on main game.
Oh.
Also,
Okay.
the City predictions, are we playing for plus 442 plus minus 442?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Comilla Victorians versus Fortune Barishal. It's the Bangladesh Premier League. आ रहा हूँ आयुष उस पे आ रहा हूँ.
Whatever was the first one.
The second one for me. To lose. The second one to lose.
First one to
So
lose.
the second one to lose. Also, we've stopped doing surprise fixture among the three of us.
We'll start from next week.
Okay. Let's go with I'm going to propose a clause here.
Okay.
City versus Villa. From this game week onwards, we say this is the week the verdict will come.
Oh.
And
No,
what is on the stake for that?
No, I was thinking we could give a plus 10 for that game week. But no, you will all know because it will be in the news. So, City Villa, City.
Oh, ये कर रहे हैं और भी है.
City Villa, हो गया.
City.
Oh,
क्या
then
plan?
I'll do score on this. 5-1.
Yeah,
Okay.
score for me also 5-0.
Okay, City captain. Chelsea
Captain
West Ham
score.
scoreline 2-0.
To Chelsea?
क्या बोल रहा है बाबा?
क्या
Don't
बोल
do
रहा
all
है
this.
बाबा?
Scary. I've put 3,500 on.
विनय वर्मा says कौतुक शेल कंपनीज से inflated points ला रहा है. But it's true. So what Raj was saying, na, actually these companies that are sponsors of City, like if you go and explore them, like they don't even have employees. Like they just exist to be sponsors of
They
City.
just have a post box number.
So there was one someone had posted about this on that same thread where there's a one particular sponsor called 8x bet.
Yeah.
Okay, and the funny thing about 8x bet is that there was a random wildlife kayaking company in Canada, okay, which had a website called Wildlife Kayaking Canada, something like that, okay, and their manager fell ill, so they forgot, like he couldn't renew the
Oh
domain
my
name
god, they
on time.
squatted something. They squatted a website.
So now if you type Wildlife Kayaking Canada, you get redirected to 8xbet.com, which is not even a thing.
Oh wow.
No one knows why they did this extremely petty small thing, but there it is.
Chalo, very good. Okay, friends, thank you for
Yeah.
stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. If you're still watching, again, as said, next week there is Bawa and me. I am doing 14th Valentine's Day in Singapore, and Bawa and me both doing 15th. And 11th, 12th in Bangalore. There are a few tickets left for that, so you can come for that. Any
Yeah.
other shows, Biz?
I got one thing to promote. Secondhand Stories is back. I'm recording stories right now. So if you'd like to come for live recordings, then all you have to do is become a member on the channel.
Wow.
It's $89 to be a
Wow.
member and come for those things. So ye
On
mahina,
Kautuk's channel, not 442.
yeah, on my channel. Sorry.
Yeah. Bawa, how much are those rice chips cost?
So there is one big packet with 14 chotu packets inside it. And there is one which is a 5 of these you get.
But which of those costs less than 89 rupees? That's the parallel I was trying to draw.
Oh, they all cost less than 89. I
So
think
exactly.
so.
So you can buy one membership of Kotok and buy one packet of those things and nicely munch away and enjoy. Chalo.
Agreed.
Great. Okay, and if anybody feels like sponsoring this thing, please batao yaar. Leke aana sponsor kuch. We are to trying, but yes. And shorts bits rahenge. We're making shorts and reels and all that.
Yeah.
So please share karo friends ke sath. Try to get more people involved in the community so we can keep growing. Chalo friends, thank you. Fuck, 2 hours 50 minutes. Oh my lord.
Madness.
Orion, Orice. God damn it. Thank you, friends. Take care. And thank you for watching the 4.
The 2.
Goodbye.
Exhaustion stream.